Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Ohio.
We're just 8 days away from opening day as we close out our spring coverage from Goodyear. The roster for the opener against the Red Sox is taking shape, but one prominent name will be missing, and we'll fill you in on that as we celebrate Easter Sunday next on Sports Time Ohio. Our spring training coverage from Goodyear, Arizona wraps up today in the Valley of the Sun as the Cleveland Indians play host to the Milwaukee Brewers here at Goodyear Ballpark. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. It's been a good spring for the Indians, and there had been growing optimism up to about a week ago that Michael Brantley would maybe be ready to go to start the season, but that is not going to be the case.
No, it's not, and it all stems from last year in Minnesota. Michael's last game where he dives for a ball in left center field, ends up injuring his right shoulder. He came up injured, had one more at bat, left the game. That was it for the season. Had surgery in November, but he looked very promising. And in spring training, he played 2 games. He ended up hitting a home run. He threw out a base runner at home plate. He looked like he was going to be ready to start. At least all Indians fans are ready to pencil him in, but he is going to start on the DL. It's no big loss because we didn't expect him to start anyway. So he's going to start on the DL, but he will travel with the team.
Yeah, Terry Francona told us earlier today he's going to be shut down for the next couple of days. Then they'll start getting him back involved in that hitting program, and hopefully he will be back sooner rather than later. On the hill today for Cleveland, Cody Anderson still in a fight to join the starting rotation to start the year. That devastating changeup, we'll see how that's coming along with his curveball. It's all next, coming up after this. Goodyear Ballpark as the Indians and the Milwaukee Brewers get ready for this spring training affair on March the 27th. Clock ticking down to opening day, Monday, April 4th, when the Indians take on the Boston Red Sox back in Cleveland. Another gorgeous day 50-plus days, I believe 55 days since the last measured rain here in the Valley of the Sun. It has been a tremendous spring as far as the players and baseball is concerned. Some folks could stand to see a few raindrops or two, though. Here's the Milwaukee Brewers starting lineup today. Under manager Craig Counsell, Scooter Gennett going to lead it off. Ramon Flores, Domingo Santana. Then it's Kirk Neuenhuis, Chris Carter, Aaron Hill, Jonathan Villar, Martin Maldonado, and Hernan Perez bats ninth.
Cody Anderson making the start. His fourth start, his fifth appearance this spring. He is 0-2 and an ERA of 6, but 12 innings, giving up 12 hits. He has walked 4, struck out 8. But coming out here now and, still fighting for a spot in that starting rotation.
And we're underway as Cody Anderson fires a first pitch strike over the outside corner to Scooter Gennett. Swung out and missed. He chased one down in the zone.
Cody Anderson throwing a little bit harder than what he was last year and trying to work on a little sinker that he has been throwing, a little two-seamer to get ground balls, and that's something that it takes a while to get a feel for.
Just a bit outside and low.
A couple of times in starts, I mean, it's stayed flat. It's been on the same plane, but when he gets it going, he's a big right-hander. If he gets that downward movement and can get some ground balls, that'll be a very effective pitch for him.
And in and out of the glove on the foul by Gennett. Terry Francona really believes that Cody Anderson is a consistent curveball or off-speed pitch, breaking ball, some type of curve, slider, slurve. He's that close to being a tremendous starting pitcher. I mean, he said, look what he did last year with basically just a fastball and a changeup. Swung on and missed. And Gennett goes down hacking one away.
Let's take a look at that Indians defense while we have an opportunity. It'll be Ramirez in left. Naquin is in center. Chisenhall gets the start over and right. It's been a while. Uribe is at third. Lindor at short. Kipnis at second. Santana at first with Perez catching.
Ramon Flores takes it up high, ball one. Alan Porter behind the plate this afternoon. Dan Bellino, Anthony Johnson, and Seth Buckminster will roam the bases. And a 1-0 foul right back to the screen.
A couple starts ago, Cody Anderson went out and he only threw like 3 changeups in a start because he was trying to command the fastball.
Pulled foul.
Nice play by the ball guy. When you make a catch, you pick and choose who you want to throw it to. If you make an error, you sort of just walk over the stands and give it to the first person you see.
Flores takes in. That didn't miss by much.
That's a pretty good pitch. Looked like a changeup.
The 2-2 is, wow.
That's right down
Broadway.
Yeah, it sure is. One of those 2 pitches has to be a strike. I don't know what you have to do to get a call. That's perfect. I mean, that's at the knees. It has plenty of plate, and you can see Perez was framing that ball, so Alan Porter could get a good look at it.
Strikes him out anyway. Cody Anderson punches out the first 2 to start the game, and he might have struck out Flores in 3 straight pitches. Let's go down to Andre Nadeau has more on Cody Anderson.
We all have a different concentration level when it comes to our jobs. For Cody Anderson in this month of March, everybody usually is getting a Final Four setting, right? And everybody in this team has one. So I asked Cody, who's your Final Four a week ago? He looked at me, he goes, Andre, I've concentrated on one thing since December, and it ain't who's in the Final Four. That just tells you where his mind is. Everybody else on the team is in the Final Four tournament. Not Cody Anderson. He's only thinking about being the number 5 starter for the Indians.
Yeah, that's right. I like that.
Who's in your Final Four?
He's already out.
2 of them are out, so don't worry about
we
it.
knew that.
Domingo Santana takes a healthy hack, and he's in the hole 0-2.
That's where Andre didn't have that concentration in February or December.
It's been a tough year in the tournament. 2-strike pitch. Anderson looking sharp here at the outset, and he punches him out. Cody Anderson strikes out the side to start the afternoon. Cody says, don't forget about me. He would still love to make the opening day roster for the Indians. Bottom of the first inning here in Goodyear. The Indians starting lineup for Terry Francona today. Jason Kipnis in the leadoff spot, followed by Jose Ramirez. Then it's Francisco Lindor. Carlos Santana hitting cleanup. Mike Napoli fifth. Then it's Lonnie Chisenhall, followed by Juan Uribe, Tyler Naquin, and Roberto Perez.
26-year-old Taylor Youngman is making his 5th start in the Cactus League. He is 1-2, a .497 ERA. He's pitched 12 2/3 innings, only given up 9 hits and struck out 11. Began the season at Colorado Springs last year, which was AAA, where he went 2-3 in 11 games. 9 of those starts.
Jason Kipnis stands in. We're ready to go as Tyler Youngman delivers. And it's high and away, ball 1. Of those 9 hits that Youngman has allowed here in Cactus League play, 6 of them came in his last start against Colorado, in which he gave up 3 home runs. 6 runs allowed in all in that start. It's really the only start he's had this spring in which anybody got hardly a hit against him.
Well, the guys that hit the home runs were pretty good too. Charlie Blackmon, Arenado, who's having an unbelievable spring, and Parra.
Colorado, historically,
they can hit.
They can put some crooked numbers on the board.
Yes, they can.
3-0 count for Kipnis here, taking all the way. We'll see what Terry Francona ultimately decides to do, but Jason Kipnis could be a very good leadoff candidate. Big chopper to second base, and Hernan Perez throws him out 1 away.
Let's check out the Brewers defense. Neuenhuis is in left, Flores in center, Santana over and right. It's Hill at third, Villar at short, Perez at second, Carter is at first, Maldonado doing the catching.
I know you're a big proponent of, hey, look, it doesn't really matter where you hit, because after the first time through the order, it doesn't make as big a difference. But it just seems like, Rick, from a mental standpoint, as Ramirez chops one to Perez, who's able to recover and throw him out, the leadoff spot and the 4-hole hitter seem to carry a little added, mental weight to them.
I would agree with that, because, guys, 1 and 4 are probably the 2 most important positions in that lineup. You've got a good leadoff man, and you got a guy that can hit fourth and leave him there all year. It would be great. But Kipnis let off last year. You know, he took off when he inserted them into the leadoff spot. So Terry knows he can do it.
Right.
So that's a fallback. You know, when you have a few question marks with Brantley being out and things like that, you can always insert Kipnis unless you want to move him down, and you can't go wrong.
Here is Francisco Lindor batting third.
I agree where it's more mental than anything else, because I did it sometimes. Let off and you could hit second. It's all mental, and you just can't change your approach. You're the hitter you are. You can't go up there and try and walk more if you're a leadoff hitter that doesn't walk.
Just like if you're a cleanup hitter and maybe you're not a big power guy, you can't suddenly go up there and say, well, I got to hit a lot of home runs. Can't do it.
No, you just got to stay within yourself, and as Charlie Manuel used to say, know thyself and be yourself, and you'll be just fine.
The 2-0. And Terry Francona has always said, and I thought this was pretty interesting, Rick, he's always said, you know, look, when I put guys in certain spots, I know what kind of hitter they are, so I don't expect them to change suddenly because I moved them.
Right.
I'm putting them here because I like the way you're hitting. Lindor taking it's 3-1.
You know, players nowadays, they say comfort zone. Oh, I like to hit here. Look, as long as you're in the top 9, in my opinion, you're making the everyday lineup. You go out there and hit. It doesn't matter whether it's first or it's ninth. You have an opportunity to get at bats.
Lindor takes small strike zone today, it looks like, with Alan Porter behind the plate. And Lindor will draw the 2-out walk. And it will bring up Carlos Santana. The Milwaukee Brewers employ the shift. They'll put 3 on the right side of the infield. And I believe Jonathan Villar, the shortstop, stays on the left side. And they move Aaron Hill over on the right side of the infield.
Okay, that makes sense, because Hill, second baseman by trade.
Yep. And Carlos Santana takes a strike. Certainly the next 2 guys in the Indians lineup, at least the way they're in the lineup today, carry a lot of promise, and with that, a lot of scrutiny in the upcoming season. Carlos Santana with a club option looming for next season. And then Mike Napoli, who was signed to a 1-year deal, has a tremendous track record and good power potential. Those 2 guys will be counted on to drive in a lot of runs this year.
Absolutely.
Breaking ball in the dirt.
Well, I'm hoping the Indians as a team get off to a better start collectively. You know, getting a hit when needed, the base hit, runners in scoring position, you know, to get them going and give them a little spark early to get a little confidence. Because I think that's what happens when they, as a team, you know, you may not score a lot of runs, but, you know, you have to get clutch hits.
Maldonado had called that timeout as Alan Porter bailed from behind the plate. So it was the catcher who asked for time, and it was granted. 1-1 the count on Carlos Santana.
It's a matter of trusting each other in that lineup. You know, keep it going. Just do your job, get on base, and let the next guy have a chance at it.
For whatever reason, that's just easier said than done.
I know.
Lindor takes off, pitches outside, throw down in plenty of time, and Lindor is caught stealing to end the inning. Nice throw by Maldonado, and it turned out to be almost like a pitch out. With the location of that pitch, we've played an inning, no score in Goodyear.
Live Indians baseball is back in 2016 with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected with live radio broadcast, stats, breaking news, and more. You can download the #1 app for live baseball. That is MLB.com at bat.
Second inning here in Goodyear, and Kirk Neuenhuis will lead it off for Milwaukee. And Cody Anderson misses up and away, ball 1. Neuenhuis sends one sky high on the right side of the infield. Kipnis says, "I've got it." And he does. Today's storylines as we bring you our final spring telecast of the year. Jobs in the outfield and in the bullpen as the roster decisions come down to the bitter end here. Francona, his thoughts on the spring. We'll talk to Terry coming up in a little while. I know he feels good about many aspects of this team, but there are also some unanswered questions. 2 down. Fine play by Juan Uribe, who will be the everyday third baseman for the Indians this year. As I said before, Rick, he may not have great range, but third base isn't a range position. It's a reactionary position, and usually if it's hit to him, he's going to catch it. He's got a good, accurate throw.
Well, you don't have a staff full of sinker ballers that are going to throw a ton of ground balls. You have a strikeout pitching staff for the most part. But you're right, he'll handle anything he can get to. Came up as a shortstop. He, made the transition over to third base, and he fields it well. Got a good arm. Now, Urshela, he's very good, but, they're going to give him a little more seasoning down there. Not to say you won't see him before this year is over, that's for sure.
Aaron Hill, 34 years old. Long time with the Toronto Blue Jays, then with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now in his first year with Milwaukee.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks signed him to a big deal here for 3 years, and they had some young players coming up through their system that took over, and they were trying to get rid of him, and they traded him for Gene Segura, who Arizona's happy to have.
Wow. I'll tell you what, Cody Anderson has been locked in since day 1 of spring training, and he shows no signs of letting up. 4 strikeouts through 2 innings. Back here in Goodyear, no score, bottom of the second inning. Looks like Andre out there in one of those battle balls. Carlos Santana going to lead off for Cleveland. Andre standing by with Indians pitcher Josh Tomlin, who's in a pretty good duel, trying to win a spot in the starting rotation. And he's got to probably be interested in watching how well Cody Anderson's gone on pitch today.
I'm sure he's interested, but Matt, I tell you what, after the game, maybe we should both put those on and
Let's
have
go.
some fun before we send you
battle
home.
ball.
I would love it.
With the shift on, there's a ground ball out. Nicely played by Hernan Perez.
Good.
Go ahead, Andre, take it away with Josh down there.
Josh, as we sit down here and we watch Cody Anderson pitch today, I know you and I have talked about this throughout spring, but you're pulling for him just as hard as you would pull for yourself at this point in time, correct?
Absolutely. He's a teammate of mine. I want him to do well just like everybody else. He can help this team win, and we all know that. So, if he makes a team, that's great. He can help us win a few ball games.
For you, what has this spring been like? Last spring, you were going through, kept bouncing back from injuries and just trying to get back on the mound. This year, you're healthy, probably throwing a little bit harder than you have in the last couple of years. How do you feel so far?
I feel great. I'm just ready to get out of here. It seems like it's been a long spring, but no, I'm ready to get out of here. I feel good, so hopefully we can finish the spring healthy and get out of here on a good note.
For you, as you come back healthy and you feel a little bit better, is it different getting a feel down here in Arizona in comparison to when you get back to Cleveland?
Not really different. It's just trying to get your innings in, get your feet up underneath you, kind of get that tired feeling. That way, whenever season comes and you go deeper into a game, you kind of have that feeling. But no, I don't think it's any different than the years past. It's just my arm's healthy, so I'm not having to do any kind of rehab stuff or kind of fight through the pain.
Talk about the feeling when you found out that the Indians wanted to give you an extension this offseason. What did that mean for you with all you've battled over the last couple of seasons?
Oh, it meant a lot. I was very appreciative of the opportunity. Whenever they offered that to me, I was very grateful. And
Should have caught it.
That was a good one. But that's the word I keep saying is appreciative, because this is what it is. They've shown a lot of loyalty to me over the years from being injured. So to better reach that contract was a blessing for me.
One of the things you've told me is you don't have a problem either way, whether you're starting or in the bullpen, because you want to win. Where does that thought process come from for you?
I don't know. I've always thought that way. I've always, I think that's from growing up and where I came from. My dad's always kind of instilled that in me, is work hard and do what people ask you to do. And at the end of the day, everything else kind of takes care of itself. So for me, it's if we win, that's a success. So it's not about where I'm at pitching. It's you go out there 60 feet 6 inches, you got to get guys out. So that's the main goal.
Why does Corey Kluber on Easter want to mess with you? And why is Corey Kluber down here on Easter?
What's happening right now?
Well, I think he's trying to throw some water balloons at you as we go along.
Oh, you got to stay focused, Andre. You can't let the outside stuff get involved right now.
There you go. I thought they'd have eggs to throw at him instead of water balloons.
I would rather eggs right now, but the water doesn't feel that bad. You're right. Let's keep concentrating as we continue to go through this. We're talking to Josh Tomlin. As you watch Mike Napoli, what have you learned about him in the clubhouse so far this spring?
He has this presence about him. It's pretty impressive. But it's the way he goes about his business. He's one of those guys that you know what he's done in the game. He has this presence about him. He works hard, and I think that's something that young guys need to see, and he'll be a great leader for us this year.
As we talk about Cody and we're watching him, he's lost his weight. He's got a different body than what we saw him have last year.
He's an absolute machine.
As he continues talking to you, though, he says talking to you has helped him tremendously in his career and helping him get where he's at. What have you been able to tell him and help him with? What have you been able to tell him and help him with?
Nothing really. I mean, he just kind of absorbs everything. So it's nothing that I can tell him or just kind of talking about how he pitches. He kind of pitches similar to me. He has better stuff, obviously, but
he's a sense.
The ground ball is going to end the inning.
Everything. He's a quick learner. He's a good learner. He's a great clubhouse guy. He competes his butt off. So.
Andre, thank
you. You absorbed well. The inning's over. You're good. Back up to you guys.
All right, no score through 2 in Goodyear. No score, third inning here in Goodyear. Bottom third of the Milwaukee order due up. Former Houston Astro Jonathan Villar shows bunt, bunts it down. Uribe, barehand grab and throw. Got him. Oh, Uribe charging in from third with the old do-or-die play. And he made it perfectly.
Ended up stepping on Santana's toe. Going down the line, it's a good throw. He got it to him in the air, but Santana had to stay right there with the throw. And what happened is left leg clipped his ankle, I think, before. He never stepped on him. He was on the edge of the bag, but I think that left foot came back and clipped him on the ankle. So he's got a little limp going on. Give him a minute for the pain to subside.
Martin Maldonado. '29-year-old from Puerto Rico.
See, watch the left foot come in and just clipped him. Oh, it might have been the cleat too.
Upstairs with it. 1 ball, 1 strike. The side of the mound tears into center field. Maldonado is the first man to reach for Milwaukee. Brewers' first hit comes with 1 out here in the third.
Boy, coming right back at you, man. This one off the side of the mound, and he was lucky. That right foot almost tried to come down. He got it out of the way. The flex off the mound into center field. First hit of the ball game.
So Terry Francona has seen his first baseman and his starting pitcher now both with a close call here already in this game. And you get down to the end of the month and every manager just wants to get out of Dodge healthy. Hernan Perez, second baseman, checks on a ball that's outside. Lifted in the air, center field. Tyler Naquin makes the catch, and that's out number 2.
Well, the best way to enjoy Indians baseball all summer is by becoming a season ticket holder. You can choose from 8 different packages that the Indians offer, and now with a 20-game plan, you'll get up to 12 games free when you buy 8. Visit Indians.com, season tickets for more details.
Scooter Gennett takes a strike over the outside corner. This is a Milwaukee ball club that was busy in the offseason. They traded Francisco Rodriguez. K-Rod to Detroit, got Javier Betancourt in return. Jonathan Villar came from Houston. Ramon Flores came from Seattle. All trades. They claimed Kirk Neuenhuis off waivers from the Mets. That ball is long gone deep and over the head of Chisenhall into the seats in right field.
Under the roof.
And the Milwaukee Brewers lead it 2-0 on a 2-run homer from Scooter Gennett here in the third. Second home run of the spring for Gennett, who came in batting .471 in Cactus League play.
Yeah, you talk about getting the head of the bat out in front. He certainly did that, and this ball just jumped. You see, that's a little flat two-seamer. It stayed on the same plane, I believe. I don't think that was a changeup. I think that was just a two-seam fastball that was middle of the plate, and it moved laterally. It didn't have any downward movement, and he got the head of the bat out in front and gave it a ride.
Fouled back by Ramon Flores. Mentioned before the trade that brought Aaron Hill to Milwaukee from the Diamondbacks, and they also signed Chris Carter to a one-year deal, and that was a guy that a lot of people, at least from a speculation standpoint, linked the Indians to during the offseason. Cleveland was looking for a right-handed bat with some power. Chris Carter was available, but there never seemed to be any kind of mutual interest, and the Indians ended up with Mike Napoli. Fly ball to left field. Rajay Davis fighting the sun. Here the line can't make the play. I'm not sure he ever saw that ball. And Flores into second base.
Well, you're looking at an infielder. You're looking at an infielder out there in the outfield, and it's not easy. He's running himself into the sunshine right there. He's got the glove up, and by the time he takes it down, he just couldn't pick it back up.
Yeah, I said Rajay Davis. It's Jose Ramirez, who is the going to be the utility man on this ball club. And one of the things they're trying to find out is, can they put him in the outfield for a spell or in a pinch?
Well, he just proved to you that it's no different than regular outfielders. They have a tough time in the sunshine. It's difficult out here. He had glasses on, he had his glove up, and by the time it comes down, it hit grass. That's all there is to it.
Flores credited with a double. And Domingo Santana out on strikes his first time up. Fouls this one off. Yeah, you can do everything right. You can shade your eyes, you can turn your body, but if the ball gets into the glow of the sun, it is just almost impossible to make a play. Behind the bag, knocked down by Uribe. And an infield hit for Santana. And Brewers now at first and third with two away.
Well, it's the one thing. This ball was hit hard, and it sends Uribe back. So at least he knocked it down and kept it on the infield. He's got to go to his backhand side. It took a pretty high hop. It got up right around the eye level. But he knocks it down. There's two outs. You keep the runner from scoring. It's first and third. And now Anderson's going to have to go again. Even though he's given up 3 straight hits, the one was lost in the sun. He should have been out of the inning, but he's going to have to work a little bit harder now to get out of it.
Even if Uribe doesn't drop that ground ball, I'm not sure he'd have been able to get Santana going down the line. Would have been a tough play. So now here's Kirk Nieuwenhuis, who popped up his only time up. Takes a strike. Nieuwenhuis, a big guy at 6'3", a little over 200 pounds. A little bit of an odyssey over the last year for Kirk Nieuwenhuis. He was with the Mets, and then he was traded to the Angels in a deal for cash, and then the Mets got him back off waivers, and then put him on waivers, and now Milwaukee got him.
Yeah, didn't last long in L.A., and I think he hit 3 home runs in a game last year.
Yeah, he only went 3 for 22 in the 10 games he played for the Angels. 6 of those games that he played there were starts. He was only there for 10 games total. It was a game July 12th against Arizona in which Nieuwenhuis hit 3 home runs. You think about the guys that have played for the Mets over the years, and Kirk Nieuwenhuis is the only New York Met to hit 3 homers in a game.
That's hard to believe, isn't it?
I mean, from those great teams they had in the 80s, just think about those guys alone. Strawberry, Gary Carter and company.
Yeah.
Keith Hernandez.
Well, weren't they one of the last teams to pitch a no-hitter? With all the great pitchers that they had there, it wasn't up until a few years ago that they got their first no-hitter. It was Johan Santana that pitched the no-hitter for him, and you had the likes of Seaver, and Matlack, and Kuzman, and Nolan Ryan back there in those days, and all the pitching that they had. Who would ever thought that?
Then you go forward to Doc Gooden.
Yeah, right.
Bobby Ojeda. Ron Darling. Here's a pitch popped out of play to the left.
Well, this inning has been extended a little bit for Anderson. He should be out of it. It's unfortunate, but it's Arizona. He came out and just breezed through the first 2 innings. Now he's having to work a little extra hard to get out of this one.
At 6'3", 210 pounds, hard to believe Kirk Neuenhuis was a high school running back. His team won the Division II state championship in Colorado. The 1-2. Runner at first, bluffed to move towards second. And the count evens at 2-2. Now the runner goes, and it's Reynolds. Foul at first. Santana was diving toward the line.
That was close. You know, as a first baseman with a runner on first and third, he's coming off the base with the runner. The runner was off and running, so there's his shuffle off. Then he has to dive back toward the bag, but the umpire was right there. And that missed probably by a foot.
Yeah, Anthony Johnson was in foul territory, and it almost hit him. Cody Anderson breezed through the first 2 innings. 6 up, 6 down, struck out 4. Had 2 outs here in the third, and Scooter Gennett hit a 2-run homer. Then a ball lost in the sun went for a double, an infield hit by Santana. And now a lengthy battle here with Kirk Neuenhuis. Runner goes at first. Perez with a throw down, and he got him. Oh, baby, what a throw. Roberto Perez in midseason form erasing Domingo Santana, and the Brewers run themselves out of the inning. But they strike first and lead it 2-0.
Well, the $13 district ticket is presented by Sports Time Ohio and is a standing room only ticket that includes your first drink. Grab some friends and catch the game from the corner or the new drink rails in left field. District tickets only available online. Go to Indians.com.
Juan Uribe will lead off the bottom of the third for Cleveland. Milwaukee out in front now 2-0. Taylor Youngman has only allowed one base runner, and that was Francisco Lindor, who reached on a walk in the first inning. Uribe's a guy who can still sting the baseball. He's got a very good line drive approach. Chops this one right up the gut. And with a shift on, Hernan Perez throws him out, one away. Well, as we come down the stretch here, the outfield situation with Michael Brantley, now going to be sidelined for the next few days. So, Rajay Davis, obviously he's on the club. Tyler Naquin has been told he's on the club. You got Lonnie Chisholm, Marlon Byrd, Grossman, Robinson, Cowgill. You would expect the Indians are going to take 5 outfielders, especially now that it looks like Brantley won't be with the team to start the year. So,
yeah, we talked to Tito earlier this spring. We could ask him maybe next inning when we talk to him. When you replace a Michael Brantley, obviously he's an everyday guy. So I don't think there's that guy in that list that's an everyday guy. So it may take 2 guys, a platoon system, with Brantley not going to be out there every day. That's why some of the decisions you have to just wait and see. They're trying to make all their decisions as soon as possible so you can get geared up before your last week of spring training.
Well, it would appear that Lonnie Chisenhall, from a health standpoint at least, is okay. Tyler Naquin is out on strikes, and there are 2 down here in the third inning. Chisenhall has gotten, I think, 10 at-bats over the last 2 days in minor league games. But he had some forearm tightness, was recently examined by Dr. Graham on Friday, and he said, hey, he's good to go. So
yeah, but good to go with the kind of spring he's had. He wants to, this last week, he needs a little confidence boost. He needs some hits. You don't want to leave spring training and have the kind of year offensively that Lonnie's had down here. You want to, sort of get ready and get a few more left-hand turns in your pocket.
I hear you 100%. But how many times have we seen guys have phenomenal springs?
Well,
and then the curtain rises and they go 0 for 10 to start the year.
Well, it's so much tougher to go home and play in Ohio than it is to play out here. You've got to at least get hits here. If you don't get them here, you may not get them anywhere. But you're right. I mean, once you leave here, it's totally different. It's forgotten about.
Roberto Perez batting 9th. He'll serve as the backup catcher to Yan Gomes. Back to the screen. Off-speed pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Taylor Youngman is from Temple, Texas. The only thing I know about Temple, Texas is it was referenced in a song by George Strait, All My Exes Live in Texas.
They live in Temple, Texas?
Yeah, Dimples, who now lives in Temple, has got the law looking for me. About a 3-hour drive south of where Josh Tomlin is from. There's a line drive in center field, and Roberto Perez will keep the inning alive for the Indians.
Perez hit that one to Temple, Texas. Right back at you. He got it up. He fouled off a really good pitch he made the pitch before. And then all of a sudden he gets a pitch up in the zone and he smokes it into center field. So the first hit on the number 9 hitter for the Indians today.
Well, Jason Kipnis will bat with 2 down. Kipnis on the spring, 3 homers, 9 runs batted in, 3 doubles, a triple. Even has himself a stolen base.
The Indians on the year, 37 home runs this spring, tied with the Cubs for the most in the Cactus League.
In the air, left center. Neuenhuis makes the catch. The side is retired. No runs ahead. A man left. We've played 3 in Goodyear. Milwaukee 2, Cleveland 0. Fourth inning here in Goodyear. Milwaukee leading it by a count of 2-0. For the Brewers, 4, 5, and 6 due up in the order. Kirk Neuenhuis, Chris Carter, and Aaron Hill. Cody Anderson up there on the mound for Cleveland. And as we roll to inning number 4, we'll go down to the Indians dugout, where we're joined now by Indians manager Terry Francona. How are you?
Good, Matty. How you doing? Arch, how are you?
I'm fine, Tito, and you? Last game for us today, so we got to get the scoop here before we leave.
What do you want to know?
We already know everything. You told us.
Can't say everything you know, though.
Well, I mean, we're coming down the stretch here, and there are still some important roster decisions to make. Boy, it's hard to ignore how well Cody Anderson has pitched all spring long, and some people have speculated, well, Josh Tomlin, maybe he could work out of the bullpen. Maybe you keep both of these guys on the roster. Maybe you don't need a 5th starter. How many different scenarios do you have to work through?
Well, there's a lot of scenarios. See, like, the maturity level of these guys amazes me. Or the lack of maturity is amazing to me. We had a big meeting the other day and talked through a bunch of stuff. We do want to sort through this. We know that the players, man, they've got some anxiety right now just because of, waiting to see if they made the ball club, if they're in the rotation, if they're on the team. So it makes you think a little bit.
How much of a say does Mickey Callaway have when you guys come down and it comes down to decision time and it's the pitching staff? How much do you lean on him, and how much is it the front office, saying, hey, this guy's got options, this guy doesn't have options?
It's all of us. And with the pitching mix, certainly has a huge say-so, as he should, because he spends his entire baseball life with them. But, the front office, they understand more than we do, or better than we do, the options and things like that, the out clauses players have. So they walk us through it all the time. We're pretty fortunate. We have such a good relationship where we don't even have to always have meetings. There's so much conversation going that we pretty much get through it.
You know, in a perfect world, you would love to tell everybody right now that, hey, this is our team. Let's break camp, and let's have a solid last week and break out of here healthy.
Hold on. You know what, Art? You made a good point, because you're coming down to the last week, and you'd love to get your team kind of having that feeling of a team.
Right.
It's just not. I don't think any team's set yet throughout baseball. But to your point, we would really like, when we know it, to get it, so we can concentrate on being a team and let me some.
Chisenhall reaches up, makes a great catch.
Letting some of the anxiety leave the room so we can start being a team and focusing on what we want to do next week.
How pleased are you the way guys have come in and competed? Where there's an opportunity, you've got Cody Anderson and Josh Tomlin, and the way guys have come out and just laid it on the line.
I thought, like Tyler and Oakland, we looked him right in the eye and said, hey, go get it if you really want it. And look what he did. I mean, my goodness. And look at Cody Anderson's another one that, I'd be lying if I said we weren't proud of these guys. I mean, they're kids that have grown up in our organization and learned how to play from, the people in our player development system, and we're really proud of them. I mean, they're going to help us win, and that means a lot, especially when they grew up in your organization.
Yeah, and then once that season starts, that 162 games, that's where you start building your character and chemistry with the veterans you signed over the winter and the young bucks that you have coming. Huh?
And I think guys like Napoli are going to pay off, not just with the numbers, but with the way he attends to his business at the game and kind of makes people follow him in a good way. I think Uribe, you see how much Uribe likes to play. Rajay Davis is going to steal some bases. I'm really pleased. We have a lot of baseball to play, and there's a lot of things that happen. But I think we're going to have really good pitching, and I think we know we have to play the game right, or we're going to lose. But if we play the game right, I think we really have a chance to win.
Terry, is there with I guess it's a setback for Michael Brantley. Does that change at all what the final roster composition is going to look like now?
You know what, man? I don't think it's a setback because he's so far ahead of schedule that, I just think he was pushing it so much. He was pushing so much for opening day. I don't think that's realistic anymore, but he's so far ahead of schedule, so that's good. But, okay, yeah, it does change it a little bit because I don't think we have one hitter in camp that's just necessarily going to pick up the slack that he left. So we may have to take an extra outfielder. That's why we have Jose Ramirez playing some left field. We're trying to, you can't replace his bat, but we need to try to replace some of that production, and it might be with 2 or 3 players.
And the toughest thing out here that I've been trying to, and we tell people all the time, it's tough to judge outfield play in Arizona because of the high sky, the sun, and you see how many balls are lost throughout the course of the spring, throughout all of baseball out here.
Arch, you know it better than anybody. When you stand in center field or today left field here, there's so much room out there. You can feel naked out there, man. I mean, I've done it. It's a bad feeling, and there's so much room to cover, and that sun is so bright that it just beats on you. So I'm sure, I know Jose's a pretty confident kid, but I'm guessing he's not dying for a ball to come to him right now.
Yeah, please. That's right. And I don't blame him. It is difficult. You don't have that extra deck up on these stadiums, and you can't pick up the baseball very well at all.
And I'm sure the guys in the bullpen are really comforting to him right now. I'm sure they're really,
Hey, speaking of that bullpen, you told us this morning that Ross Detweiler, left-hander, will be on the ball club. How close is the bullpen to being pretty much finalized?
Well, again, Matty, we're trying to figure out, do we go with 7 or 8, and or take the extra outfielder. And those are all decisions that will come together. Hopefully, I'd say by Tuesday, because there's still some guys with outs that we'd have to make a decision by then.
Tito, thanks for your time. We look forward to seeing you back in Cleveland for opening day.
All right, guys.
Good luck, Tito.
Okay. Thanks, Arch.
That's Terry Francona. The Indians trail the Brewers 2-0, middle of the 4th in Goodyear. Well, folks, it's almost here. Join us for full opening day coverage on Sports Time Ohio. Drennan Live will start us off at 1 p.m., followed by a special 1-hour edition of Indians Live with Al Pawlowski and Jensen Lewis. We'll bring you every pitch of the opener then against the Red Sox starting at 4 and wrap up the day with Indians Live. We'll see you opening day right here on Sports Time Ohio.
Boy, it won't be long now. A week from tomorrow.
Jose Ramirez takes it a little bit outside. Jose Ramirez bounced to second base, his only time up in the first. And looks at a strike. It's 3-1. Jolted to right center field, but over into the gap, and making the catch backhanded is Domingo Santana, one away. You know, Rick, on that 3-0 pitch, you saw Ramirez take for a strike. I thought it was interesting today. Terry Francona was asked, I don't remember what the question necessarily was, but he talked about the fact that, you know, we don't really have a red light, green light policy with regards to hitters when they're at the plate. He said, unless it's a case where a guy's been wild, we might want to take a pitch,
down,
or you're behind.
Couple of runs in the ninth inning. Yeah, right.
I thought that was interesting because I think fans are often wondering, you know, does the manager have a say in terms of, do you take a pitch here, do you put a take sign on a certain count? And for the most part, he gives his hitters the latitude to know when they're comfortable to swing.
Most managers do. Every hitter's different. They have their own style for the most part. Some guys are a little more aggressive or a lot more aggressive than other guys. And you know what? If you get that first pitch early, that first fastball, like I say, if you get a good pitch to hit, swing. If you're making out, who cares? But at least you're getting a solid swing that you believe it. To me, what a big part of hitting is eliminating doubt. When you get behind in the count, then you get tentative and you start feeling for it. When you get ahead in the count as a hitter, you can be a little more aggressive, you know, or patient and wait for the pitch that you want.
Right.
You know, so it goes both ways. But boy, Terry, if you get the pitch you like, then swing it, and swing it with confidence. That's what he wants you to do.
I think a lot of Terry's philosophy, and granted, every manager will tell you that there's bits and pieces you take from a lot of folks, but a lot of his philosophy comes from his own experiences, and he knows how difficult hitting can be.
That's right. He knows. And you know what? He knows how difficult it is if you're not playing every day. You know, just for younger players.
Lindor laces one all the way to the wall in right field. He's headed to second base easily with a one-out double. Well, that's going to bring up Carlos Santana, who's about as selective a hitter as there is on this Indians ball club. As you take a look at Lindor getting the ball down and in and just turning it around. Carlos Santana, hey, he's a guy that can lead the league in walks, but he also has tremendous power, and there's a balance that you're trying to strike, and with more on that, let's go down to Andre Nana.
Well, as you guys have this conversation, that's who this conversation started about, was Carlos Santana. They've told him this spring, be a little bit more aggressive, because the books are out around the major leagues that he's going to take pitches and he's going to go deep in the count. So, Rick, what they're saying to him is, hey, if they want to get that get me over fastball early, be aggressive with it. And he said that when they change up, you can go back to being who you are. And the one thing Tito said, he goes, hey, if Carlos is in a 1-0 count or a 0-1 count, he still can hit.
Well, a lot of times the reason why they want him to be a little more aggressive, he's always down in the count a lot, 0-2, 1-2. But he works his way back into the count because he'll change a little bit. But if you get that first fastball, especially if you have runners in scoring position, don't take it. Give it to him. Put a good swing on it and drive him in, man. Get aggressive. That's what they want him to do. And you watch good RBI guys. If they have runners in scoring position and a pitcher tries to throw a heater by him, you're going to see a healthy cut on good RBI men. You know, you try and mess around and throw them. I'm not saying swing at a curveball. even though it's a strike, if you're looking fastball and you're ready for it, get after it. If it's a breaking ball, change up, take it.
Well, we were just talking about, here it is. You've got your RBI man in an RBI situation. He's got the count tipped in his favor at 2-0.
But now you can be selective and pick your pitch. Look for a pitch middle in or middle away and go for it. Sometimes when you get to 2-0, some hitters get overly aggressive and they swing at a pitcher's pitch where you don't have to. So what if it's a strike and you take it?
It's not your pitch.
It's still 2-1 and you're still ahead in the count. See, now there's a 2-0 pitch that jammed himself on a pitch that I'm not sure was a strike. Now that is what you're talking about. That's what separates RBI guys. Look at it, it's a cutter coming in on him, and he jams himself with it. See, Santana likes it, but it stayed right there, and he jammed himself. Boy, that's one as a hitter. You go back, and Ted Williams used to say, if you're going to hit a ball, you never get jammed on a pitch 2-0, 3-1. If you hit it, you rocket it foul over the first base dugout if you're a left-handed hitter, or a third base dugout if you're a right-handed hitter. And, you know, a lot of times hitters get themselves out, and Santana did that to himself right there.
Now here's Mike Napoli now with a 2-out RBI opportunity. Brewers shift 3 to the left side. But we have seen Napoli already this spring take the ball to the opposite field.
Yeah, he's had a shorter stroke this spring, it looks like. He knows he's a veteran hitter.
He's hitting .450 on the spring with 4 homers and a team high 14 runs batted in.
You know, all right, let's see. Same count here. Yep. Let's see what happens. You've got Napoli, and, you know, both these guys are patient hitters. We're talking Santana. Let's check and see what Napoli does here. 2-0 count. First base is open. You want to try and get that guy home. A little tougher to do with 2 outs. You got the left-hander Chisenhall on deck, who hasn't had a good spring. Not that they pitch around guys in spring training, but let's just see the approach.
Well, he went with a fastball.
That's fine. He went away and he took it.
Yeah.
Now it's 2-1. You still have the count in your favor. It was not the pitch he wanted. So he sort of spits on it. Now let's regroup and try it again. See,
and it's in the dirt all the way in the on-deck circle and into the Indians' dugout. And Lindor will have to go back to third. He was coming around
third. That's a wild pitch. You get the base you're going to. You know, the thing of it is here that I wanted to talk about on the wild pitch, on the 2-0 when he takes. Now, if you don't swing at it, you get a pitcher thinking about himself, and the catcher, too, thinking, boy, what's he looking for here? He took that pitch right there. So they come back with a curveball. He bounces it. You get a free base, and it goes to a 3-1 count. So Napoli's going to sit here, and he can be patient again. He does not have to swing unless he gets it the pitch of his liking.
Up high with maybe a cutter or a fastball.
There's the at-bat right there. You take it, you move on, you let the next guy do it.
And the next guy, at least today, is Lonnie Chisenhall, who grounded out his only time up. Lindor with a one-out double to right field is at third base. And Napoli, who walked, is now at first. And Lonnie Chisenhall steps in. Takes a close pitch for ball 1. Now that's in the dirt. And so this is 3 straight hitters now that Taylor Youngman has been 2-0 on. And so, okay, Rick, if you're Lonnie Chisenhall, when Santana was up, left-handed hitter, he got that sort of cutter, I guess. It was up and in and kind of jammed him. 2-0 pitch to Napoli, right-handed hitter, was a fastball, but it was down and away. So if you're Lonnie right here, 2-0, are you looking for a specific pitch, or are you just looking for your location right here?
If I'm a hitter, I don't care what hitter. If I'm a left-hand, I'm looking for a fastball here, 2-0. If he throws anything else, I don't want to swing at it. And you cheat on that fastball, make it in a certain spot. It was a breaking ball.
To left center field, and it will be caught by Neuenhuis to end the inning. So the Indians leave a pair, and through 4 it remains 2-0 Milwaukee. Improve your game and tune into the Golf Zone with our man Jimmy Hanlon. Our PGA Golf Pro will show you terrific tips to improve your game, and he'll update you on this weekend's match play tournament inside the Golf Zone. Jimmy Hanlon tonight at 8 on Fox Sports Ohio.
He just sent me a little text with a picture of about 10 years ago when he was in the Golf Zone and giving instructions.
Yeah. No, when he was out here earlier in the spring, he tried to run with the big dogs and was quickly reminded that you might want to stay on the porch.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
May I ask who the big dogs were?
They were. I think they were some friends of his or friends of his. He tried to keep up and didn't work out real well. He was a no-show. He was supposed to be here the next day. He didn't make it.
Well, I think he had the Arizona flu that, like everybody else
sure,
in camp.
I'm sure that's what it was.
Yeah, it was. He's entitled.
Was it fouled as Jonathan Villar? Down to the dirt. He almost went after it. They appeal, and Anthony Johnson said he held up. A ball and 2 strikes. We're in the 5th here in Goodyear. It's 2-0 Milwaukee on a 2-run home run by Scooter Gennett in the 3rd inning. It's the only inning in which Milwaukee has had a base run. In the other 3 innings, it's been 3 up, 3 down. He struck out the side in the 1st. 3 fly ball outs in the 4th.
Yeah, that home run pitch was the one mistake pitch that was taken advantage of.
And
nice.
VR down on strikes. That looked like another changeup.
Boy, it was moving away nicely.
That's number 5 for Cody Anderson.
Yeah, you just watch it go down and away. Excellent location, and that's his bread and butter pitch, the one that he's got a great feeling for, that changeup.
Isn't it amazing, though, Rick? I mean, we've talked about the fact that if he can develop that third pitch, that breaking ball consistently, it's going to really elevate him. But, I mean, just look at how well he's done with the fastball and a changeup. And shouldn't that be a blueprint for all pitchers?
Well, command. First of all, you have to command the fastball. And if you can command two pitches, just that goes to show you how effective you can be with just a fastball changeup. And it takes a lot of pitchers some time to get a feel for that third pitch, whether it's a curveball, slider, I don't care what.
Lonnie Chisenhall in deep right field pulls it down 2 away.
I don't think enough pitchers can command their fastball. This guy, he can command it. And when you look at a Josh Tomlin, they're not overpowering, although Cody Anderson is starting to pick up a little more speed because of his workout plan. But number one, command the fastball. If Salazar, when he first came up, think about it, he was throwing 97, 98. He didn't have great command with it, but that was his go-to pitch. Now he's got that changeup. Now he's got to mix in a little bit of a slider, too, to get better and better.
So essentially what you're saying is that the fastball changeup is an effective combination, but if you're 2-0, the changeup isn't as effective if you're working from behind all the time.
Well, not because once the hitters start to know you and they pick it up, they know your go-to pitch. So they'll start sitting on a changeup, and they'll give you your fastball sometimes and cheat on you. But it takes a while. I mean, you know, the way scouting is now and the way they look at everything and with video, they got everything down pat.
Let's play by Santana to end the 5th inning. 6 in a row retired now by Cody Anderson. 2-0 Milwaukee, middle of the 5th.
Kids tickets start at just $10 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. Kids tickets located in the family deck out at Progressive Field, and it's home to the expanded kids clubhouse. Kids tickets only available at Indians.com.
Juan Uribe takes up an in-ball 1. Uribe grounded out his only time up. He hammers this baby deep left center field. Goodbye. Off the back concrete wall. Almost cleared the stadium with that one. And Juan Uribe gets the Indians on the board here in the 5th with his first home run of the spring.
Did you see him put his head down as soon as he hit it? He knew it was gone. And I mean, it was way gone. But he had a great swing, and listen to the thud coming off his bat. Head down, dropped it. He knew it all along. That's a good feeling right there.
He's always smiling. He's one of those guys that just seems to be always in a good mood.
Well, yeah, a good nickname for him would be Jefe. He takes charge of all the Latin guys around. You can see him. Look, they all follow him around. They'll go to sit down there and want to know what happened, and he'll say, "Look at boys, I hit that ball so hard. Look at it. He's kissing his bat," and they're all laughing. It's beautiful. The Jefe.
Naquin in a base hit into right field. Ground ball single past the diving Chris Carter. And that's something we've seen a lot of from Tyler Naquin. That gives him 21 hits in 44 at-bats on the spring. In fact, a funny story earlier today, the Indians were doing one of their drills. It was basically a base running drill, and the hitters would have to look down, pick up the sign from Mike Sarbaugh. A lot of it was bunting, hit and run, those types of things. And they had Scott Atchison, who pitched for the Indians a year ago, now is part of the coaching staff, and he was throwing to the hitters, and Naquin popped out. And somebody said from the bench, they said, "It's the only guy that's got Naquin out all spring."
That's pretty close, because he has had that kind of spring.
Roberto Perez, a line drive single up the middle his first time up. A little bit low. And a breaking ball just missed. Taylor Youngman pitching into the 5th inning. Indians finally getting to him with that solo homer by Uribe. Now the base hit by Naquin. We'll see if they can string a few more hits together now. And Perez with a single into left field. Naquin will stop at second base. And 3 straight hits to open the 5th for Cleveland.
Well, he's starting to fall behind the hitters now, and he's going through that lineup the second time, so they're getting a feel for it. They know what's going on, and they're looking for things, and that one stayed middle in, and he turns on it. Count your favorite, get after it. So the Indians starting to figure some things out, and you're going back up to the top of the lineup now for the 3rd time.
And Jason Kipnis is the batter. Kipnis has grounded out to second base, flied to left his last time up. And takes outside ball 1. Well, the pattern continues. You mentioned it. He was falling behind hitters in the last inning, but he survived.
He got away with it, yes.
And now they're starting to maybe get to him here in the 5th.
Yeah, he again 2-0. He's digging himself a hole. He's making it a lot tougher on himself. Hitters now starting to get okay, now you got to come to me.
Tyler Naquin, good speed at second base. Roberto Perez, the catcher, down at first. And way off the mark, 3-0.
Yeah, either he's getting awfully tired right here in the 5th, or he's just flat out nibbling.
Well, Rick, the one thing I'm thinking about, that 4th inning, they made him work. He got out of the jam. And then Cody Anderson got a quick 1-2-3 inning. And he's had to bounce right back out here in the 5th, and it's almost like he hasn't had time maybe to catch his breath. And that's probably what's showing up here.
It's his third walk.
And they're loaded with nobody out. And they're just now getting some action in the Milwaukee bullpen. Yeah, if this were the regular season, even though it's only the 5th inning, body language, just the way it's unfolding, you would say it looks like a pitcher who's running out of gas.
And very well could be. I mean, here's a guy that now it's almost like he doesn't want to throw it. When you start falling behind hitters, he's not overpowering by any means.
Last time out, he made 78 pitches, and he went 4 1/3 innings. Well, he's 4 innings plus, and he's closing in on that same pitch total. So if they were expecting him to maybe lengthen out and go a little farther, I don't know if that's going to happen here today.
Well, unless the Indians let him off the hook, and they don't look like they're going to in this inning.
Jose Ramirez takes, and a borderline pitch is called a strike. It's 1-1.
For a guy that's had a tight strike zone, that to me looked like a gift.
Yes, I would agree. And another one as Ramirez looks back and says, wait a minute.
That's what I'm saying. Earlier in the game, that first time through, pitches that were right down the middle were called balls, and now you're getting pitches that are off the plate that he's calling strikes. That's, as a hitter or as a pitcher, you look for consistency.
And a double play ball hit to short. Ramirez grounds into a double play, and the Indians tie the game as Naquin scores from third. But because of the way the strike zone suddenly ballooned, it forced Ramirez into swinging at that pitch. And now Youngman has a chance to get out of the inning with 2 outs, and Francisco Lindor, the batter, go-ahead run 90 feet away as Roberto Perez stands at third base. Lindor doubled to right field his last time up, and he takes low, ball 1. Lindor walked in the first, and after the double in the 4th, he ended up stranded at third base. And a strike called to the outside edge, 1-1. Way off the mark, 2 balls and a strike. Puts a jolt into one deep right field. Santana looking up, and it is gone. Francisco Lindor clears the wall in right field for a 2-out, 2-run homer, and the Indians take a 4-2 lead.
Nice boost right there. Lindor doesn't let him off the hook this inning. So the Indians get their 2-run homer into the ball game. A pitch out over the plate. Looked like it might have been a little off speed where he kept his hands back beautifully. And hits it. You can see it gets over the line. Ricochets back. But a 2-out, 2-run homer. And the Indians take a 4-2 lead.
Carlos Santana takes a strike. He's 0 for 2. And Santana just kind of caught in between on that swing. It's 0-2. Francisco Lindor, 2 home runs, 13 runs batted in on the spring. And a chopper foul. Well, Lindor rounding into shape. He looks like he's ready to start the year. Well, Lindor and Uribe going deep here in the 5th off Taylor Youngman of Milwaukee, who brought a 2-0 lead into this inning. Santana takes a curveball in the dirt. 2-2.
That's the nice thing. The Indians had bases loaded, nobody out, and a chance to, well, already with 1 home, to take advantage of it. He gets the double play ball. He tied it up, but then Lindor made it pay, and that hurts. big 2-out base hit. He's back to nibbling again. He had Santana down 0-2.
And this is so typical of Carlos Santana. He goes from 0-2 to 3-2.
Right.
The payoff pitch. It's up high, and he's walked him. And that might be it. Here comes Craig Counsell. He's going to make the move. Taylor Youngman goes 4 2/3 innings. And he gets to 86 pitches. But he runs out of gas. 7 batters into the inning. The Indians have jumped him and taken a 4-2 lead. We've got a timeout in Goodyear. Four 4-2, the Indians now in front with 2 out here in the 5th inning. Runner at first base. The new pitcher is Tyler Thornburg, who worked in 24 games a year ago. And the right-hander on to face Mike Napoli. So Taylor is out, Tyler is in. Taylor Youngman went 4 2/3, but couldn't get the final out of the inning. Tyler Thornburg is up high with a fastball. Oh, Napoli, line drive to left, but it's right at Neuenhuis, and that ends the inning. So the Indians dialing long distance here in the 5th inning. Juan Uribe goes deep, and Francisco Lindor follows 4-2 Cleveland. Another warm, sunny day here in the desert. There have been plenty of those during Cactus League play this year. Temperature today in the mid-80s. Although it sounds like a cold front might be headed this way.
Yeah, it's going to be 75.
Yeah, kind of cool things down a little bit.
You know, you don't think it makes a difference, but it is nice. A nice crystal clear here when it's in the 70s.
It's amazing. It doesn't take long to get used to the warmth, because today I was rolling into the ballpark, had the windows down in the car. It was 64 degrees, and I'm like, I think I got to roll the windows up. It feels a little chilly.
You get spoiled. That's true.
Scooter Gennett takes a fastball to the outside corner for strike one. Gennett hit a 2-run homer in the third for Milwaukee's only runs. In fact, it's the only inning in which they've had base runners.
Yeah, and it was a mistake pitch. Not sure if it was a changeup that stayed high or it was just a high sinker, but it stayed middle of the plate, and he was punished on it. But the offense has been back, and he's been great ever since. That's the one thing about Cody Anderson. You talk about quick innings. He throws strikes. Guys are aggressive. He can have innings where he can have 8 pitches. And now we're back to the tight strike zone. Yeah. I wasn't looking. I was just
guess
looking
he's calling that low. I mean, it's right. It's over the heart of the plate. He must be calling it low. It's 2-1. Off the end of the bat foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But you're right, Rick. I mean, you look at that third inning, the 4 hits he allowed. Maldonado had a line drive up the middle. The home run was a well-struck ball.
Yeah.
The double was lost in the sun, and the single was just a ground ball. Right. It was, you know.
Right.
Other than that, he has really been in control.
But you see, I mean, he's a guy that pitches from in front. He doesn't fall behind, unlike the, you know, we saw Youngman, you know, he's nibbling, you know. This guy, he's aggressive. That's like when Tollin's out there. They're aggressive. Look, you may hit them, but they're not going to walk you. They're not going to give you free base runners. That's the key to pitching, man. Make them hit their way on. Hey, if you get hit out of a ball game, that's fine. Your manager can deal with that. But you start nibbling and walking guys, and then all of a sudden give up a 3-run home run, it drives them crazy.
Well, this isn't nibbling. This is just this is like fractions.
Yeah, he's making very good pitches.
The 3-2.
Yeah, if you got to throw it down the middle for him to hit it, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Off the top of the wall. No, it's a home run, says the umpire.
No, that hit the wall, didn't it?
Sure looked like it hit the padding, but it's ruled a home run by the umpire.
He's going to go out and ask.
I don't know if anybody else would have had a better look than he. He was closest to it. But I agree with you. I thought it sure looked like on the ricochet it hit the padding. But we'll get another look at it.
Look, they got a chain link fence
he could hear
above the line.
I just saw the umpire signal to his ear. Yeah, you can see it hit the fence.
I didn't see it there.
He signaled to his ears like I could hear it hit the metal.
Okay. Well, there you go. Tough to see, but it goes as another home run. That's 2 on the afternoon for him. But, you know, he wasn't going to walk him. He came right back in, threw him a strike, and he hit it right on the nose. You know, I think when you go out there and you don't get any argument from your players, you know, or something, then they must agree with the call.
Yeah.
You know, because Terry was coming to the top step, went to the umpire, but he was looking for a reaction from one of his players out there and didn't really get it. And from where we sit, it didn't look like it hit the fence, but obviously it did.
And obviously that's a play during the season that, you know, you could ask him to take a look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, without really a challenge there.
Right. I think during the regular season, that's probably one that they would have gone and looked at to be sure to confirm.
Yeah, that's funny because we don't use it down here at spring training. Remember when the year it started, we started using it. We got to get back into the whole shooting match of it again.
The year it started, we used it, I think, the first or second inning of the game in Arizona. In Oakland, rather. The base hit by Ramon Flores.
So the first two, Gannett and Flores, they have 4 of the 6 hits for Milwaukee. Going to get a pinch runner now. Presley going to pinch run for Flores.
Alex Presley.
Is that Alex or Elvis?
Alex has not left the building. He has just entered.
He is in the building.
And Domingo Santana takes a strike. Outside corner, nails it. And nothing into the count.
Put him away, Cody.
And Santana fouls that off. Staying alive here in the 6th inning. Milwaukee coming back with another home run. They've hit 2. The Indians have hit 2. But the Tribe's still leading at 4-3 here in the 6th inning. He went hacking and he's out on strikes. That's number 6 for Cody Anderson.
He just comes right back, rears back, and throws him a good fastball after he had seen a couple of change-ups in that at-bat. You can see he throws it right by him. That ball was by him by the time he realized it was going to be a heater.
Kirk Neuenhuis is 0 for 2. He is popped up, fly to right. Jabba Chamberlain is loosening up in the Cleveland bullpen. You see Cody Anderson closing in on 90 pitches here this afternoon. You know, Terry Francona also said that, hey, look, with regards to the final roster spots, it's not going to come down to one outing here at the end of spring. In other words, if Cody Anderson were to go out and just dazzle today, that's not necessarily going to pitch him onto the roster.
Right. Or one inning or one batter or one pitch is not going to affect him.
And he went on to say, look, regardless of who makes a team or who doesn't make the team, we have to get them ready to start the season, whether it's here or whether it's in AAA. So you still have to get these guys lengthened out, which is what Cody's doing here today. Again, though, he's making a strong case, whether it's to be on this club or to be on the short list of call-ups. Pitches outside, throw it to second base. Oh, yeah. You're not going to run on Roberto Perez. That's the second time today they've tried, and they have paid for it in both instances.
Well, this guy has been remarkable as far as a catch and throw guy. I mean, he gets rid of that ball in a hurry, and he's always right on the money. Perfect throw. Second time today that he has nailed a base runner. And boy, you don't lose a beat when this guy is behind the plate and Gomes gets a day off as far as catching and throwing goes. You know, when you look at Anderson, he's about average delivering the ball to home plate. He's about 1.3. Well, you got the equalizer back there that can throw like that and be very accurate.
Well, that's the thing, Rick. His throws are right on the bag.
Yeah, they're very accurate.
You don't have to have necessarily a howitzer for a right arm. If you throw it on the bag, man, it's going to be tough to steal on.
That's last year, 39%. That's outstanding. Anything over 30 is very good. He was one of the best in all of baseball, although he wasn't an everyday catcher, but he was for about a 6-week period for the most part.
Swinging, I got a piece of it, did Neuenhuis. And, you know, Sandy Alomar told me earlier in the spring, the days of guys just running wild on the bases. Now, there's always going to come along a speedster like a Billy Hamilton who can just flat out run the best defense. But the days of guys running wild are over because pitchers take so much more time to pay attention to the run game and hold runners, and catchers do such a good job.
It's controlled by the dugout. Yeah. You know, the bench coach, whether it's Millsy, whether it's whoever's doing the job, those guys, they control it. When to throw to first base, step off, and do something different.
Now, Cody Anderson continues to impress. Gives up a solo homer, but that's now 7 strikeouts on the afternoon. Back here in Goodyear on a gorgeous day this Easter Sunday. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are this afternoon. We're happy to be joined now as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning by Indians team president Chris Antonetti and his lovely daughter Maya, who did a tremendous job singing the national anthem today.
Thank you.
How was that experience for you? Was it scary? Were you nervous?
Yeah, it was a little scary. I was kind of nervous, but
you would have never known it. You did a great job.
Thank you.
I came on when you were practicing. Did that help you to go out there and sing it one time before you went out?
Yeah, to practice.
Bonnie Chisenhall, it's a ground ball to second. And a quick out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Maya is keeping score, by the way. For those of you at home, she's got her scorecard here. She's keeping score. I love it. Now, do you take singing lessons back at home?
Well, I had a few voice lessons with my music teacher, and so we did that, and that helped me get ready for it.
We've heard professional singers tell us that the national anthem is one of the hardest songs to sing.
Yeah.
A little tricky, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, you hit all the notes, so it doesn't
Dad,
matter.
were you a singer in your day, or was it Mom?
No, definitely not me. Actually, Maya,
Definitely.
tell them what would happen if I sang the national anthem.
All the players, all the people in the stands would just run away. Instead of looking, they would just run away.
So she's heard you sing in the shower before. I hear you.
What was that like for you, Chris? I mean, those of us who are parents, I can't imagine. You must have had goosebumps.
I was just so proud of her that she had the courage to go out there and do it, because it's not something I would have done. So I was more anxious than she was.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, now next goal, you did it in spring training, would be in Cleveland, right at home, right?
Yeah.
That would be terrific. I think we might be able to work that one out.
We know people.
We know people who know people.
Well, you've got to submit your tape again, right?
Yep.
Well, that's good. There it is. You're seeing it right there.
Oh, yeah.
Dad's first to meet you there after he gives you a nice hug.
She's like, Dad,
And you
you're
really
cramping
did.
my style, Dad. I need to take some
Yeah.
pictures with the fans here.
You really did a nice job. That was very
Thank you.
good.
Well, now you're on spring break,
Yep.
so you're enjoying a little
Spring
time
break.
here in Arizona.
Yep.
Did stay out all the way till the end this time.
Oh, is
Yeah.
that right? You're going home
Yeah.
at the end of the week?
Look at you. You're keeping score. You're talking to them.
I mean,
You do a lot of things
multitasking.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Thanks.
I need to take lessons from you.
Now, will you be heading back with him, or you're going
Yeah,
to
we'll go back together
Okay.
and then
get ready to open it up in Cleveland?
exactly.
And I think everybody's about ready to go. It's that time.
Everybody's about ready.
Yeah.
It is that time in camp where guys are ready to get out. And made some decisions here in the last few days to narrow the roster down. Still have a couple more to make, but we're making progress.
Yeah, Terry said you had a nice meeting a couple of days ago with the front office and everything, and it went very well
Yeah,
as far
we
as
did.
communication goes.
Yeah, we talked a lot. You know, we had some of our scouts in there. We had the major league coaching staff, a number of members of our front office, and tried to work through some of the decisions. Helpful to get the frame of reference, not just what guys have done in spring training, but what we've seen in the past.
You know, it's got to be a lot more difficult nowadays with the outs and the contracts. You know, whether it's pitchers or, you know, veterans you bring in on minor league deals.
Yeah, that's, one of the things you have to work through. There are guys, we had a handful of guys today, actually 5 players had outs in their contracts. So
Four
today that we had to work through. We have another couple for the rest of the week, and kind of expedites the decision in some cases. But we as an organization try to make those decisions maybe a little bit earlier than most, just to give guys maybe a little bit more clarity before the last day or two of camp.
It's a tough time for everybody.
It's
I mean,
really
they
tough.
get a little on edge.
Yeah, we met with a couple of guys today just to say, hey, we get it. We understand. We can't give you the clarity that you need, but we understand that you've got some anxiety, but we're trying to work through things.
Well, they have to appreciate it, and I think that's probably why you can get some guys that do come here, because you're going to be that fair to them.
And we try to do that as an organization and be upfront with how we communicate, and we've provided a lot of opportunities for some minor league free agents that have come in and made meaningful contributions to our team, and we're expecting a number of guys to do that again this year.
Chris, we've talked a lot about Michael Brantley, and I don't know that anybody, when you arrived here in mid-February, realistically expected him to start the year, but you had to start thinking maybe a couple of weeks ago, well, maybe this is possible. Was it deflating at all that he's had to sort of kind of pump the brakes a little bit right now?
I think we remain mostly encouraged. I mean, when the injury initially happened, we were thinking maybe May 1st, May 15th is the earliest date he might be back. And when Michael was making so much progress, it was almost too good to be true. And I think what he's experienced the last few days is actually just part of that process and not something to be unexpected. So the thing we're most focused on is we want to make sure we bring him back when he's ready to contribute and stay healthy and not have something linger. So we'd rather give it an extra week or 10 days now. And if that means he comes back a little bit later and it's not opening day, that's okay, as long as we have him back for the balance of the season.
Does your head hurt at night, like thinking of all the different roster scenarios? Well, if this guy's healthy or if this guy's not healthy, and we take this many outfielders versus this many extra men, a left-hander in the bullpen, 2 left-handers in the bullpen, I mean,
we've spent a lot of time talking about a lot of different variations and whether or not you carry 7 relievers, 8 relievers, how many outfielders, how many infielders, and you look at the different versatility of some guys like Jose Ramirez. If he can go out and play the outfield, how does that affect the number of outfielders we carry, things like that. So we spent a lot of time looking at a lot of scenarios.
And then it changes 2 weeks later.
And then it changes 2 weeks later, or then you get somebody, if somebody sprains an ankle or tweaks a hamstring, and then all of those plans change quickly. So
you spend a good deal of your professional life negotiating. How tough is Maya when it comes to negotiating bedtimes and things like that? Is she good?
She's the master at that. It's amazing how
Ella, on the other hand, is not.
is not
So-
a sister. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you
She
need to
can play
negotiate
for-
on her behalf. You need to be
Yeah.
her agent, represent her.
Now you're staying in the same, right? You guys are in the same room.
Oh, yes.
So we had an interesting night last night with that. So
Yes.
Always on the road.
always, yeah. It's amazing how Maya chooses her right before bedtime to share her life story.
In the hole, fine play off balance, and what a throw, but Carter couldn't stay on the bag.
That was a beautiful play right there. He had to get rid of it as soon as he got it, but it pulls Carter off first base, so it'll be an infield single for Perez. Great effort here. Let's take a look at it. Ranging to his right. Gets to the ball, and he knows he's got to get rid of it quickly. He has the right guy running, but the throw just a little off the mark. And it'll go as a base hit. You can see the foot coming off the base.
Chris, it hasn't been a surprise, but it's been fun to watch how well Cody Anderson has gone out and competed this spring. Josh Tomlin, I mean, where there's an opportunity, it's fun to watch guys go out and seize it like a Tyler Naquin. Has there been a pleasant surprise for you in camp as you've watched things unfold?
I think Tyler Naquin, just the way he's gone about things, I mean, it would be hard to expect a guy that misses much time as Tyler did to come into spring training and take advantage of the opportunity that he was given. But I think to Tyler's credit, it wasn't just about spring training for him. He put in a lot of time this winter. He spent all offseason in Goodyear preparing for this opportunity, went to both of our strength and conditioning camps, put on a lot of good body weight, and is a lot stronger than he's been at different points in the past. And so he prepared for the opportunity and deserves a ton of credit for it.
Absolutely, and that's what he gives credit to, because he says, you know, he was challenged by the strength and conditioning coaches. He showed up because Anderson was there, and he's been here, and he's a proponent of it. When we were here in fantasy camp, I saw those guys working.
They were getting after it.
And they were. I'm telling you, I didn't see him throw the baseball once or hit a baseball. I saw him working, you know, out on the plyo field and in the weight room, and it was pretty remarkable. You should have seen the old pros looking at that.
Really?
These guys work, and they never hit, and they never really did throw.
Yeah, that was really the focus of that camp, is to get guys bigger, faster, stronger.
Boy, oh boy, they worked hard.
And we've seen it pay dividends with Giovanni Urshela a couple of years ago, obviously with Cody Anderson, Tyler Naquin, there's a host of guys.
Coming around third base, Michael Martinez will be waved home. Throw to the plate, not nearly in time. Down to third goes Roberto Perez as Jason Kipnis delivers the RBI single. And the Indians' lead is now 5-3.
A nice two-out base hit. That's what you love to see, two-out base hits. Keep it going. And that infield hit that Perez was able to get, keep the inning going. They add on.
And Jose Ramirez coming to the plate with Francisco Lindor on deck. 2 down here in the 6th inning. We're visiting with Indians President Chris Antonetti and his daughter Maya, who sang the national anthem before today's game on this Easter Sunday. It's been a terrific spring as we wind things down. Opening day coming up April 4th in Cleveland, and the Indians host the Red Sox. And Chris, it looks like the extended forecast, a balmy 36 degrees.
Is that what it, I haven't looked quite yet.
As long as there's
36?
no rain or snow.
Yeah.
Looks dry.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. David Price, 36. Let's go.
Let's go. You're not in the box, are you?
I know.
I said,
well, you know, you can't have everything.
Yeah.
I mean, this weather's been so spectacular out here for the spring. You know, you just look forward to getting home. That's okay.
Yeah. Our guys will be really excited. They'll be ready to go.
Sold out house.
Yep.
I look at
It'll
Tyler
be
Naquin
fantastic.
getting a chance to start in center field, maybe against Price and having fun. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. I'll leave the line of construction up to Tito on that
I
one.
know.
So
I would love to see it, though.
I'm thrilled. That was actually one of our pretty. You know, there are those moments where, you know, we have to deliver a lot of really difficult conversations to some guys over the course of the last few weeks of spring. But having the opportunity to talk with Tyler and just see how emotional he was, because for us, it's actually a really unique circumstance.
Jose Ramirez with a 2-out RBI single up the middle. Scoring is Perez. Kipnis hustles all the way to third. And another 2-out RBI hit for the Tribe as they lead now 6-3.
So we have to do some research on it, but we couldn't remember the last time we had a player break with our major league team who had no prior major league service. CC Sabathia was the last pitcher to do it, but in terms of position players, almost every guy, if you go back to Grady and Victor Martinez, all of those guys came up. Johnny Peralta came up the year before in August or September, before being added that following April. And Tyler's the first position player that we could remember that when he plays opening day, that's going to be his first day that his major league debut.
#1 draft pick, CC, #1 draft pick. Maybe Manny Ramirez. Was Manny?
I'd have to go back.
I don't recall him in September.
I think Manny came up sometime mid-season the year before, but I'd have to check that out. But it's been a long time.
Yeah. Well, that's good to see.
Yep. And like we said, he earned it, which is really fun to see.
He was thrilled because we talked to him when we were over at Talking Stick on Friday. He said first people he called mom and dad and brother, and he said they're on their way to Cleveland. So, yeah, he's very excited about it.
He should be.
Francisco Lindor has had a good day, a double and a 2-run homer. A lot of people are openly saying, look, we're tempering our expectations for Francisco Lindor this year. He played so well a season ago. There's no way he can be as good. I wouldn't put any limitations on what this guy can do, though. Would you?
No, I would not put any limitations on Francisco. He did such an extraordinary job last year in so many ways that he's raised the level of expectations, but I think one of the things that makes Francisco so great is he doesn't get caught up with any of those things. He's focused on how do I show up at the ballpark today to help my team win, and how do I make myself a better player? And that's really all he thinks about.
Sends this one to center field. That's going to end the inning. Chris, thanks so much for being here. Maya, here's another look at your national anthem appearance and performance. Great job. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
Good luck this year. We'll see you in Cleveland.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Back here in Goodyear, where we head to the 7th inning. Indians now in front by a score of 6-3. Cody Anderson, his day ends after 6 innings of work, and Jabba Chamberlain will be the new Indians pitcher. Chamberlain will be part of the Indians bullpen when the season opens. A lot of experience, including a world championship. And he's just one of those, he's got the perfect mentality and personality to be part of a bullpen. Because A, he's got the experience, so, you know, guys look to him, they'll ask him questions, he'll dispense advice, but he won't jam it down anybody's throat. But he's got that, you know, he's kind of likes to keep it light, keeps the mood upbeat.
Well, because you only come in for an inning, and it's not every day. So, you know, you can have that attitude. And it's, I mean, the bullpen guys, they're a different breed. You know, they're a unit. The bullpen hangs together like the starters hang together, like the everyday, and then there's like 4 different units, a part of that team when you think about it. The extra men, they stay together and they take pride with what they do. We used to call them when I played F Troop. You come on and you're the guys that are not out there every day, but they're going to need you sooner or later. The bullpen guys are the same way.
And the starters have their own sort of special clique, and then the everyday players.
They just grind. They're quiet. They don't say much because they know they got to play the next day. So you just shut up and keep grinding.
They're the foot soldiers.
Yeah,
You're right. Chris Carter takes, and it's a strike called. 2-1. Chris Carter coming off a year in which he hit 24 home runs, drove in 64. Cuts and misses, full count. And that ends up being ball 4. I wonder if a big reason why Carter remained unsigned for so long is that teams maybe, because of analytics and the ability to really look at the numbers more than just on the surface, and said, a lot of those numbers, well, he piled them up in chunks, and especially down the stretch, he hit a lot of home runs. So if you maybe take a wider look, that numbers weren't as good.
He's been that way his whole career.
Streaky.
He's a home run hitter. You know what? He'll strike out 200 times. But I'll tell you what, when he gets hot, he can carry a ball club for a couple of weeks, and he can drive in a number of runs, and he can hit 30 homers. Are you willing to be patient enough with him doing that? And,
right.
Is he a great first baseman? No. So do you want to take that chance? And I think the same thing happened to the guy in Pittsburgh who just signed with Baltimore.
Pedro Alvarez.
Pedro Alvarez. A lot of teams now, even in the American League, don't want to take a chance at just using the guy for a DH. They want athletes. They want guys that can play defense, so you're not stuck with one guy.
Yeah. Well, Chris Carter lifted for a pinch runner. Many of the regulars will be coming out of the ball game. This is probably the final at bat for the starters. Aaron Hill is 0 for 2.
Yeah, and it's the last week of spring, so even though you're playing a team out of your league, they're now going into the 7th inning and getting that extra at bat. Chamberlain have a tough time throwing his fastball for strikes.
Which is an important pitch for him because he's still got good life on the fastball.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of locating it and then going to that slider instead of maybe being slider happy or,
When I remember him with Detroit and with Kansas City last year, anytime he pitched against us, he couldn't throw his fastball for strikes. You'd always sit on the slider. And that's the thing I would sit on. I mean, when he has to throw you a strike, it seems like it's going to come to the slider. He fell behind Carter. 3-1, he threw the slider and threw it 3-2 as well. And there it is. That's his bread and butter.
He's taking a long look in at Alan Porter. Strike zone's been a little odd here today.
Yeah, it has. It's been pretty much hitter friendly until that one inning we saw when the Indians had bases loaded, nobody out.
And Jose Ramirez, all of a sudden, everything's a strike.
Yeah.
Chopper foul.
Good man brought his glove, made a catch right over the dugout. Well done. Gets a round of applause.
Six runs on 10 hits for the Indians. 3 runs, 6 hits for Milwaukee. Aaron Hill awaiting a 2-2 pitch from Jabba Chamberlain. Now time is called. High pop, playable. Shallow right, out goes second baseman. Chisenhall can't come up with it. He had it, and he'll throw to second. They'll get the force. And that force will go 9-6 at second base.
Well, it's up there, and it's up there, and it's up there, and it just, boy, he got handcuffed by it. Martinez was going, no, Martinez is short.
I just realized we got a new second baseman in there. That's Mark Mathias. Taking over for Jason Kipnis. Ronnie Rodriguez is taking over for Uribe at third base. Jonathan Villar is 0 for 2. He has grounded out and he has struck out. Way outside with it. One. I'll make that 2-0. Milwaukee will open their season at home against the San Francisco Giants on Monday, April 4th. You talk about a tough schedule to start the year. Milwaukee starts at home with San Francisco. Then they get Houston that comes in. What a year they had last year. Then they hit the road for St. Louis and Pittsburgh.
Good
Yikes.
luck.
Yeah,
Good luck.
A rough start to the year.
Yeah, but you know, eventually you have to play those teams.
Right.
And you know, when you got a team and there's so many changes over in Milwaukee and all these kids now that they're bringing in, or not kids, but new players, you want to prove something. Sometimes the younger teams you play earlier in the year are the ones that can be the dangerous ones because they don't know how good they're going to be yet, and they don't know better.
They don't know they're not supposed to be good.
Right.
Yeah.
At least not yet.
Well, here comes Terry Francona, and that's going to be it for Jabba Chamberlain. He gets one out here in this 7th inning, walks a couple of batters. And he will depart with 2 on and 1 out. And the Indians up 6-3 here in the 7th inning. So we'll take a timeout in Goodyear as Jeff Manship will be coming on next. Milwaukee with a couple of base runners with 1 out in the 7th inning. Tribe leading at 6-3. New pitcher is Jeff Manship, who had a phenomenal season a year ago. And as Terry Francona told us earlier in the spring, you know, this is really maybe the only time in Jeff Manship's career he's been able to come to spring training and just get ready for the year, not having to fight and scratch and claw to make a roster.
And you can work on what you need to work on to get yourself ready. That's a pretty good feeling. Well, you don't have to feel like you have to be perfect all spring to try and make the ball club. Right now he's going to be looking for a double play ball.
Martin Maldonado takes a strike.
Did a wonderful job last year. Worked with his college coach moving over to the other side of the rubber. It made a huge difference on his arm angle and his slider. It was awfully tough on right-handed hitters and on all hitters, period.
Yeah. Well, he filled, he was the handyman of the bullpen. Whatever role you needed him to do, he did. Whether it was, pitch a couple innings here, pitch a tough right-hander here, there, I mean, whatever.
Well, comes a point in time you've got to earn it when you get late into a ball game.
It's a smack line drive in center field, and the bases are loaded.
Yeah, hit that one right on the nose. That's Maldonado. He had another ball right up the middle off Anderson.
So as you take a look at the bullpen, and as Terry alluded to, and as Chris Antonetti referenced when he was with us, do we go 7-man bullpen? Do we go 8-man bullpen? One lefty, multiple lefties? A lot of things still up in the air. It would appear, this is just on the surface, that they'll only keep one left-hander, and that Ross Detweiler has been informed he will be with the team. But you look at that bullpen, and
well, here, I mean, you got to throw into the equation there. There's what, 9 relievers there? There's 9. If you keep 8, that means 1 has to go. But that tells me that you would think, they won't need a number 5 starter for a while. So their number 5 would go into the bullpen as well. If that's Josh Tomlin or Cody Anderson. But, boy, I don't know. With the 5 outfielders, there's that slider.
Well, you'll need a 5th starter by the 2nd week of the season. By the 16th, you got 5 in a row.
That's 2 weeks, though. That's a lot of time to play with.
Yep. Check, did he go? He did. And Hernan Perez not happy, but he is out on strikes. 2 down.
Well, he just kept going at him with that slider. He couldn't hold up, and he may have held up there. But you see how far his hands went out in front of home plate, even though that barrel head was back. And originally, when you go for that check swing, it's intent. And I would have to say he did intend to swing at that pitch.
Off the end of the bat, Gonzalez chopped to second. Mathias throws him out, and the inning is over. So a terrific job by Jeff Manship to get out of a jam. Stretch time in Goodyear, 6-3 Cleveland. 6-3, Cleveland on top as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning here in Goodyear. And for the Milwaukee Brewers, their third pitcher of the afternoon is right-hander Corey Knebel, who's 24 years old. He's been with the Tigers previously. That was 2 years ago. Last year in his first go-round with the Brewers, appeared in 48 games and had an ERA of 3.22 working out of the Brewers bullpen. Let's go back down to the Indians dugout, and speaking of the bullpen, Jabba Chamberlain is now standing by with Andre Knott.
And Jabba, as you come out of that outing, just talk about what happened out there and what's going on with the mound. I keep seeing your pitchers keep messing with their landing spot.
Yeah, like kind of when we get out there, it's usually there's one side or the other that we can figure out. But as Manny came in too, he's like, I didn't think I was going to throw a strike. I was like, well, we saw what happened right there. But normal season, a hole that big, we'll call somebody out and get it fixed. It'll be interesting to see because you got to move either side so your foot lands in the spot it's supposed to land in. And obviously it's hard enough to pitch, let alone when you're trying to deal with that.
Talk about the excitement of having Terry, Chris Antonetti, and group call you in the room and tell you that you've made this team. I know you've been on a lot of teams coming into spring training. Kind of different for you, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, this one was real different. Just obviously, coming in in a different capacity. But I think it was just it was fun. I mean, it was a great conversation to have. And coming in, I was prepared to make the team and to do everything that I can to help this team win. And so it was nice to be able to get it done and not have to wait till the last minute and just get everything in order to get this thing started and to have some fun and get after it with these guys.
Many would look at last season and they would just look at the back of your baseball card and they'd say, oh, a tough year for you. You've told me it was one of your favorite years of your career. You want to explain why? Yeah,
I mean, for me, it brought perspective. I mean, I was fortunate enough to only play 2.5 months in the minor leagues when I first came up. And, now after so long and the ups and downs and winning a World Series and just being, in so many spots to take a step back and to really realize the value of this game and what it gives you. To see these kids that are fighting and clawing, 6, 7, 8 years in the minor leagues to, just to get that chance. And here I sit with, this is my 10th year in the big leagues and only spending 3.5 months total of my career in the minor leagues. And, it's just, it was something special for me to take back, and it made me a better teammate. It made me a better father. It made me a better person. And obviously it translated into the spring and everything that I've had, thus far. So hopefully just continue to build on that and have a great one.
What is the excitement of playing and pitching for Terry Francona and having Callaway as your pitching coach? I know that you've changed your body a little bit. You were out here early. I'm sure you're ready to get out of here because you've been here for, about 3 months already?
Yeah, I mean, we're not used to being stuck in one spot. But, just finally playing with Tito instead of against him. I played against him my entire career. So now to be able to be on his side, it's going to be fun.
Now, Terry told a story early in spring saying that, he knew you, as you talked about. You guys were opponents for a long time. And everybody kind of has this thing about you. You have this nasty exterior. I think people think you're a scary dude. He said he walked in with you in the first year the year he wasn't managing. I think you guys walked into Yankee Stadium together, and he walked away, and he goes, man, he's not the guy I thought he was at all. You laugh at that, but I think that's what a lot of people get from you. Do you remember that time, and do you remember just getting to know Tito a little bit?
Yeah, I think it's just obviously when you're going from one side of the fence to the other, and, he gets to, have a different, obviously, perspective of you. And, seeing, obviously, when I'm coming in, the game's on the line, we're trying to get after it. But now, he was behind the mic just trying to call the game and give the fans what they want as far as, dialogue and intellect towards the game and what's being brought towards the game. So, it was just a normal conversation other than, just when you see in passing when, he was with the Red Sox and I was with the Yankees and vice versa. But now it was, he was working for ESPN and I was, doing the things in New York. And so it was just a different dynamic of a relationship and a different dynamic of conversation. So it went a lot better than the other ones have probably gone. But, now just, building from there, it's been my entire career. I've played against him. So, I mean, he obviously knows what he's going to get. And, I'm going to give him everything I got every time I get the ball and time to step in between those lines for my teammates in this organization. And, it's going to be a fun 162. I can promise you that.
What do you take from being a starter? Do you miss being a starter? And when you're out, you know what I mean? And when you're out there in the bullpen, do you ever look back and wish you were still starting? Or what did you learn from that?
I learned a lot. I mean, through the ups and the downs and everything. And, starting every 5 days to 8 days to 10 days, whatever the case may be. I just learned patience. And like I said, this game is so special to me in so many ways. It taught me not only, to be a better baseball player, but it taught me to be a better father. And just I wasn't a patient person. And going through all those things and the rules I had in 07 to, the starts and whatever it was something that I look back and I don't think without that I wouldn't be the person I am today. And I'm very fortunate to go through those things and have those experiences, whether they're good or they're bad. But for me, every experience is a good one because I can take something positive out of it, and it's going to make me a better person and a better teammate and a better father. So, I'm just very fortunate to say that I've played this game for this long, and through all the things that I've gone through, just to hold my head up high and to wear this uniform across my chest and be proud to represent this team, this organization. I'm truly blessed and extremely excited.
Now, as you look at this bullpen, and Tito, he likes to use his bullpen, and you look at the back end, Brian Shaw, obviously, a lot of appearances over the last 2 seasons. Cody Allen, a lot of appearances over the last 2 seasons. Where do you see yourself kind of fitting in with that group?
Well, I'm the old guy, first of all, which is weird.
Wait, you're not that old. Just because you've been playing for 10 years, you're not that old.
I know, but these gray hairs on the side of my head don't say that. No, I think it's a great just combo of guys out there. I mean, you've got, different arms, different styles, different personalities. I mean, you got a guy that's going to throw a great cut, and then you got a guy that's just going to come after you with a great heater, great curveball. And, I just think it's a different mix whenever anybody comes into the game. I don't care whether it's Manny or myself or Z-Mac or whoever it is. It's a different feel. There's a different style. There's a different nostalgia about what we're doing, about how we want to hand the ball to the next guy. So, I just think it all fits great together.
The one rule when you go back to Progressive Field is not to put on cologne. Was it cologne or bug spray?
Yeah, it was bug spray. So I don't think they come out that early. But and I heard that they're actually honoring half on opening day with the walk-off bug thing.
Yeah.
So I guess if you guys need me to do something, I'm there.
You remember you said that. We appreciate the time. Congratulations on making the team. And quit telling everybody about the gray hairs. They weren't that close up on you.
I know, we're all right. Well, I got to take my hat up at some point. But, yeah, it's been awesome.
Just tell him to shave his head like you do, and you get rid of the gray hair that way.
They told me upstairs you can just shave your head like me, and you can look like me, and no one will know you got gray.
No, that's not it. Not yet. Not yet. I'm 5 haircuts away, so let me at least enjoy it for a little bit longer.
Appreciate it, John.
You got it.
Thanks, Andre. Thanks, Jabba. He's what he said and what Andre was talking about was so spot on. My perception of Jabba Chamberlain was Jabba Chamberlain. When I sat down with him the first time, I thought, this guy's nothing like I thought he was.
Well, I think that's a lot of players. When you play against them, across the diamond, you don't like guys in a different uniform that are trying to beat your butt. And you're trying to do the same to them. So, you look at things differently until you get to know them a little bit more. It makes a difference.
Still loves his Nebraska Cornhuskers. Big fan of the program, and he pitched there. And
well, then you guys got to have some stories. Does he have any with Bo when he was there?
We did talk about the football program and
sure.
Like the ups and downs and Husker mania.
Well, that's all there is to do in Nebraska, isn't there?
Yeah, well,
that's Nebraska football, and that's it. Or go on out and get some corn.
Lonnie Chisenhall is at the plate with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Runner at second, 1 out here in the 7th inning. Chisenhall, a couple of ground ball outs and a fly ball out to left field. Corey Knebel checks Colin Calgo, who came on as a pinch runner for Carlos Santana after he walked. Calgo went to second on the ball in the dirt. And now in scoring position after Napoli grounded out. Chisenhall with an opportunity to try and drive him home. And it's 2-2. Lonnie with a line drive base hit into center field. And Calgill did not get a good read. He'll stop at third base. Colin may have thought that ball was going to hang up and Flores would make the catch, so he just kind of stood his ground. But Lonnie Chisenhall with his second hit on the spring. Well, that's got to feel pretty good just to be able to barrel one up and make a left-hand turn.
Well, he picked down a breaking ball down. It was down in the strike zone. Lonnie likes it down. Had middle of the plate on it. But you're right, making that left turn. It's been a while for him, so it's a nice base hit just to get that feel.
Here's Michael Martinez. Martinez took over for Juan Uribe, who had 2 hits today, including a home run, scored a couple of runs. Now, Martinez actually scored 1 of those runs when he came on as a pinch runner for Uribe. Chopper towards the shortstop. And gonna get the tag? Yes. He did get the tag on Chisenhall.
Yeah, Martinez hustled down the line, though, and they didn't have time to get him.
So another run is in for the Indians.
High hopper, you just got to make sure they don't tag you, and then all of a sudden you'll see he stops. But it's nice hustle by Martinez to beat it out and get the RBI.
Robbie Grossman. Runner goes. Throw down. Not in time. Michael Martinez with a stolen base.
Watch the throw. Little high enables Martinez's hand to get into the base before they can apply the tag. And it wasn't that high. It was about shoulder height. But he had a pretty good jump. By the time they get to throw, he gets the hand in. So he just flat out, he steals that base. Good job.
I believe that's Josmil Pinto behind the plate. And the pitch catches the outside corner. You know, going back to what we talked about before with Tyler Naquin making this ball club, not only did he go out and win the job, but there was a ton of competition in camp. I mean, the Indians brought in a lot of outfielders to compete, to look at. Colin Cowgill, Joey Butler, this guy, Robbie Grossman, Shane Robinson. They brought in Will Venable late. Obviously, Marlon Byrd just got here recently. But, you know, through it all, Tyler Naquin just, he never flinched. Grossman swings and misses at a ball in the dirt. Throws to first. Down the line. Oh, no. Did he hold on?
No, hold on. He's calling him out. He's calling him out. Yep. He's saying he was touching the bag. He's explained to the standing. He pushed him off the base. So I guess it's going to go as an out.
Take another look as we go to break here. The Indians leading it by a score of 7-3. But a tangled up mess at first base to end the 7th inning. Telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. 7-3, Indians lead it, 8th inning here in Goodyear. Kyle Crockett, the new Cleveland pitcher. Last year in 31 games, had an ERA of just over 4. 2 years ago, really looked like he was well on his way becoming the mainstay lefty in the Indians bullpen. But last year had to deal with some adversity. Ups and downs, back and forth between the minor leagues and the big league club. And look, it's not like they're giving up on him, but
by no means. They still hold him very highly. Like, you know, I mean, that's all part of it. Young pitcher comes to the big leagues and all of a sudden he has success early, and you know, people make adjustments. He's not overpowering. His key is he throws strikes, he moves it around, and he gets outs quickly. But adjustments are made, and he still has the wherewithal where he can come up here and be a successful left-hander.
Check swing and a foul off the bat of Alex Presley. Tell you that play that ended the inning was an interesting one. Robbie Grossman struck out, and on the play at first base, he was ruled out. But when we went to break, we looked at that replay, and then we saw Terry Francona in a long conversation between innings about the play. Big bounce to the second. It's out number 1. Let's take another look. It appeared as though first baseman, well, first of all, he didn't catch the ball, so he drops it. And he never had possession before Grossman got to base. But what the umpire was telling Francona is the push. And if you watch Grossman, it's not the contact, but the push right there, the way he pushed him. Well, that's why he called him out. Well,
first of all, you'd review that in the regular season. He never had possession of the ball. And that guy was covering the base. How's he supposed to get to first base and put his foot on it? He's sort of just trying to brace himself where he's not knocking him over.
Again, but I think in the judgment of the umpire, there was a push. It's one thing if there's if contact is incidental, it's just contact because he's in the way. It's one thing. But I think in the judgment of the umpire, I'm just reading into the body language between the conversation he had with Terry. Right. It looked like he was indicating that he pushed him, and therefore
he was wrong.
Called him out.
I know. I understand that, but he was wrong. But he explained it to the best of his ability.
But that's a weird one, because if you're the base runner, and even if the guy's fumbling with the ball, if he's standing right on the base, you've got no choice. You've got to get there somehow.
Yes, you do.
Slowly chopped to third. Nice play. Boy, Ronnie Rodriguez absolutely fired a pellet over to first base. And there are 2 down.
Well, a high chopper. Seemed like it went off home plate. Oh, here comes that play again. You see, he never had it. He went to pick it up. That's legal, what he did right there. That push is nothing. He's got to get out of his way. He's entitled to first base.
Down on the mound, number 57, Kyle Crockett.
I mean, after what we saw with Hal McRae the other day in those old throwback videos from the 70s.
Wasn't that something?
That's nothing.
Yeah, wasn't that something?
High and foul. I mean, if a guy did that today, there'd be a full-scale brawl on the field.
Yeah, there would. Well, here's the one when he runs into Willie Randolph. There's Guidry on the mound. Nettles gets it over there, and look at he's nowhere. He's 10 yards. and then the run ends up scoring. Martin comes out and argues after. Do you remember that one? Oh, boy. Yeah, and that little push, you're out. Plus, you have detention after that, too, right, kid. You're not going home after school.
You go sit in the corner. Down on strikes, a strong inning for Kyle Crockett. 1-2-3, go the Brewers. And we go to the bottom of the 8th with the Indians in command, 7-3.
Well, you can guarantee yourself some of the most exciting promotional items this season by purchasing a promo pass. It's an additional $5. Promo passes ensure you get a promotional item no matter what time you arrive at the ballpark. Just go to Indians.com promo pass for more details.
All right, bottom of the 8th inning here in Goodyear. And a new pitcher for the Brewers. Ariel Pena coming on to pitch now. For the Indians, Bobby Bradley, I believe. Yeah, Bobby Bradley's going to lead it off. Well, we're in the 8th inning. The Indians with a 7-3 lead. Our final spring telecast of the year. So the next time we greet you will be opening day in Cleveland, Monday, April 4th. Indians, Red Sox. Scheduled, it'll be Corey Kluber against David Price. What a matchup it'll be. And we'll all be there ready to bring it to you. Andre, some thoughts as we go down the stretch here?
I think a couple of them that jump out is obviously, I know we talked earlier, I listened to you guys talk earlier about the batting order, and I know that how Rick feels about who hits leadoff and who hits cleanup. But I think when you look at it, and we know that, Michael Brantley probably won't be here to start the season off, do you want Jason Kipnis still leading off hitting third, or do you want Lindor hitting third? And I think Lindor, to me, brings a lot to the plate, but he may be the best way to go early in the season, guys.
Well, I would like to see Lindor hit third. I said that last year. I said he was having that kind of year. He's the type of guy that can hit third. I mean, the switch hitter, he could, and Kipnis leading off last year, he was fine. I had no problem with that. So it's all up to Tito. He doesn't look in start looking at his lineups. But I think your best hitter right now would be Lindor.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But then you think of RBIs later on down in the game, and who's the better RBI guy. I think it'll be interesting, though, because I think they'll be a little bit more athletic than they were a year ago at this time. When you think of Rajai Davis as well as Lindor, and it'll just be interesting to see how they use Davis early and how they use Kipnis.
On the left-handers, he might be the leadoff hitter against David Price.
Right.
And then you've got you could put a left-hander there, then a switch hitter. Then you could go with either Santana, or you could go with Napoli. I mean, he's got some options now that you have more right-handed hitters.
You know, funny story, when Lindor hit the home run today in the game, he came back and a couple guys asked him what he hit, and he said it was a changeup. And Uribe, it's easy for me to say, laughed, and he says, "That's Arizona, bro." Basically saying that wouldn't go out at home. But it's interesting just to watch Lindor as he's kind of grown, and he kind of understands it. And he says, yeah, he goes, that would have been a double if we were at home. He goes, but it's off the end of the bat. He goes, and I didn't let him fool me. It's just interesting. A year ago at this time, I know we were all talking about when he would come up and when he would be here. His maturity has really not surprised me, because he's been mature all along. But his maturity really shows up when you see him this spring and how he's gotten ready for his second big league season.
Well, he does not carry himself like a guy who has arrived. He still brings the approach every day that I've seen him this spring of a guy who's trying to make the team. Now, I know he knows that he's on the team, but he hasn't acted like it. He hasn't swaggered around like, hey, I've got this club made. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I think people in Cleveland appreciate that kind of a player, too.
No, Matt, I'm with you. And I think the other thing, Tyler Naquin kind of said it to me the other day when he found out he made the team. I said, did you do anything different in the spring? And he goes, honestly, I watched Michael Brantley every day. And he goes, and I can't say this out loud. He goes, because I know he's only been in the big leagues for a little while. He goes, but I just pay attention to Lindor. He goes, he works hard, man. And he goes, and I've watched him. He goes, I'm just going to work hard with him and see where I can fit in with this as we go along.
Up into the Bermuda Triangle, but a nice play in right field for out number one. Let's go back to that fifth inning. It was a fun inning. It started with Juan Uribe, and he clobbered this ball. Fastball inside plate. Destroyed it.
Yeah, he loves the fastball, and then, it doesn't stop. Lindor gets his changeup and gets it out. And, I'll tell you, for Lindor, you guys are talking about he is fun to watch, but the guys like Uribe and Napoli, the veterans that have been around and been through it a little bit and been on winning ball clubs, are really going to help him a lot, too, settle down. And they'll help guys like Naquin and other people in that clubhouse.
Now, Arch, as we watch that home run and talk about Bird, as well as how long do you think it takes those guys to get ready for a big league season? Because we heard Tito this morning kind of say, hey, we know defense is going to come second with Marlon Bird, but he's already got 5 doubles, I believe, in 5 games. And Uribe's been back and forth, dealing with visa problems.
They're fine. They know what it takes. I mean, they're in their 30s and mid-30s, to late 30s. So they don't have to worry. They know what it takes to get ready to hit. Defensively, that's a different story. Now, Bird, he's made some errors. He's not on this ball club to catch the ball. If he plays and he's in the game and, they have a lead going after 7 innings, they're going to take him out of the ball game and put somebody in for defense. It's plain and simple.
Well, I think, too, Andre, and Terry alluded to this earlier, one player's not going to replace Michael Brantley on this roster, so they're going to take 5 outfielders. So Terry's going to have some options, whether it be late game replacements defensively or, just switching people in and around during a game. So it's going to be interesting just to see the final composition of the roster to see what kind of options he's going to have.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. I think the one thing I learned last year is just because a guy's on the team in the beginning of April and a guy's not here, it changes quickly.
Oh, yes.
And we saw that a lot last year. But it will be interesting the first month or so, because obviously no one's talking about it right now, but getting off to a better start is something this Indians team wants to do. I know it's been talked about, early in spring, but a lot of guys haven't said it. And I know Kipnis said to me a couple days ago, he goes, I don't know what we have to do. He goes, but we've got to get out to a good start so we can kind of relax and find our place and not try to play catch up, for the rest of the summer.
As Terry said, if we play the game the way we should, we've got to play it the right way, we'll win. And he believes they'll win. So he's going to manage them the right way. And it takes a while. You just, you're coming in out of camp not at full strength, and you have different players, so it's going to take a little while, but everybody better be ready, because you know what? He's going to try and put you in a situation that you'll succeed. And hopefully you get the good solid pitching like you're going to have, and your bullpen wakes up and you can score a few runs and you catch the ball, and they'll be okay.
I think there's a couple of things that is worth mentioning here, and it's always tough with 2 outs in an inning as we wait for the pitch first from Pena.
Bingo.
In the hole, and that's a base hit. So Mark Mathias with a base hit keeps the inning alive for the Indians. So here are my thoughts. When you have a young core group like the Indians have, Gomes, Brantley, Kipnis, all these guys that have kind of grown up together, young players at first, and we know this from experience, first thing that they have to conquer is playing in the long season, the 6-month, 162 grind. It's not in the minor leagues you don't do that, only in the big leagues. So they've got to get kind of mentally and physically ready for that challenge. Once they get past that, then they've got to deal with the expectations of whatever they've already accomplished. And sometimes they can exceed them. Sometimes those expectations become a burden, so they've got to deal with that. I think this team, though, has matured beyond all those steps, and now it's ready. It's now or never, essentially, for this group of young players. They're in their prime years. I think they have put all those learning aches and pains behind them. There's still going to be some young players that come along with them, but that core group, I think this is their time to shine.
I tend to agree with you. And you talk to some of these guys, you know, even Napoli kind of said that. He goes, these guys have been around long enough. He goes, I know who they are. You know, when you talk about that core, he goes, they know who they are. We know who they are, and we know what we expect from them. And I think with expectations, sometimes that, you know, people take that on differently. I know we've talked to Yan Gomes, and I think he'll be a key early on, especially. I mean, he got injured, after 12 at-bats, 20 at-bats last year, then missed 6 weeks. And then he went down to Tennessee, guys, and he kept working. He did not stop working. He wanted to get back here as soon as possible. And this spring, we've been able to see that so far with the way he's swinging the bat. You just hope one of those guys, I know a couple years ago, it seemed like every month one guy kind of carried the team until they got going. You just hope that a Gomes or someone like that can have a really good April and let everybody else settle in and do their thing.
Everybody has to do their own thing. And, you know, they have to stay relatively healthy like most teams do.
Calgill with a jolt to deep left field. Gone! Onto the lawn for Colin Calgill. A 3-run jack here in the 8th. Makes it a 10-3 Indians lead.
He got a hold of that one, put a good swing on that breaking ball that stayed up middle of the plate from Pena. And Calgill hit it a long way into left field. A 2-out, 3-run homer. They've done a nice job today scoring with 2 outs at the Indians.
Calgill, one of those guys making a late push, guys. A couple nights ago, had a couple triple and a double and a walk and stole a bunch of bases. It's amazing what happened with some of these outfielders once Marlon Burton signed.
Well, that's going to end the inning, but the Indians tack on 3 more. They lead it by a touchdown as we go to the 9th in Goodyear. (10-3) Cleveland, 9th inning now here in Goodyear. Cody Anderson got the start today, went 6 innings, and came out of the gates smoking. Struck out the side in the first inning.
He sure did. He had moving that fastball around, change up, and he mixed it up very well. And, you know, he had that one rough inning here in the 3rd where Scooter Gennett got him for a 2-run homer. That was a bad pitch, and he hit another homer later in the game, but he was very good this afternoon.
Dan Otero trying to make this ball club with one of the remaining bullpen spots last year with Oakland in 41 games. It would appear likely that he'll make this ball club. You know, the other thing that we haven't talked a lot about, the reason we haven't talked about it is because they're not available, but you know, they got a couple of guys that are on the men.
Oh, that's true. Well, you know, you don't talk about them because they're not going to be ready on May.
Right.
So I think that's one reason why we don't talk about them. Hunter?
Yeah, Tommy Hunter is the one guy I was thinking, and Craig Stammen.
Right.
So those are guys that at some point could be options for this bullpen as well.
Hold it down till they get ready.
Pulls it foul. This is Shane Peterson back for Milwaukee. Well, again, we invite you to join us on opening day in Cleveland at 1 o'clock. First pitch is at 4, but we'll have wall-to-wall coverage beginning at 1 o'clock with Bruce Drennan live. And then Alan Jensen will have a special hour-long edition of Indians Live. So Bruce will be on from 1 to 3. Alan Jensen 3 to 4, and then Rick and I and Andre will be ready for the first pitch at 4 o'clock Eastern time. So if you can't be there, and it's a sold-out house, so if you don't have tickets, then tune in to Sports Time Ohio, and we'll have all the coverage you need, all the pageantry of opening day. It's no other day in baseball like it. And I believe we'll have a couple of those opening days because we'll have the one in Cleveland, and then I think when we go to Chicago, that's their opening day.
Yeah, they play a 4-game series in Oakland, and then head home. So we will be their home opener.
High pop, playable. And Tom Hankins puts it away for out number 1. Here's Colin Walsh getting a chance to bat here in the 9th inning. You know, the other thing too, Rick, is there's always, and we've mentioned this before, a lot of time and energy is expended on trying to figure out who's on the roster, who's going to make the club, who's going to fill out these final spots. But at the end of the day, it really comes down to, you know, those 5 starters, who's in that rotation, how well they pitch on a consistent basis. Obviously, the bullpen now more than ever plays a vital role in a team's day-to-day successes. But then you know, after that, it's your key guys in the lineup. You know, I mean, Michael Martinez, for example, we know at some point there's a good possibility we'll see him, but he's not going to play a starring role for this team. It's a support role, and it's one that's important. But at the end of the day, it's Kipnis and Brantley and Lindor and Gomes. It's how those guys play daily.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's your everyday players. They're everyday players for a reason. And you have role players for a reason. Mm-hmm. Their role is hopefully not going to be a big role. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that means your everyday players are healthy, and they're going to be out there the bulk of the time until they need an off day.
And again, if Cody Anderson does not make this ball club, it'll be disappointing for him. But if he does not, we know we're going to see him at some point.
Right. And he knows he'll be back. He'll go down and work that much harder to get back.
And again, we don't know. There's still a chance that he does make the ball club. We don't know until it's all said and done. And
well,
but I agreed. You know, Terry mentioned he'd like to have all of this stuff kind of finished as we get down to the final days here, just so that when they, especially when they go to Texas for that little 2-game tune-up, if you will, for opening day,
it'll be set.
That's the team.
It'll be set.
He said we'll take some extra guys with us. You know, but those will be minor league players, not guys that are competing. He said, I'd like to have the team set so that we can just get used to being around each other for a couple of days. These are your guys. This is your team.
It would be nice to have the team set this week, where it's a team this week. And, you know, it may take another day or so, but they'll get it done as soon as possible. They just try to be fair to everybody. You know, they try and take care of the guys that are in situations that they know. They have families. Where's my family going? You know, where are my wife and kids going? Am I going to make the team or not? Hey, they know what it's like. So they'll be fair. They'll get this thing done here. And next thing you know, we'll be in Cleveland getting ready to start it on Monday. And looking forward to it.
Yeah, a week from tomorrow, it all begins. The 1-1 pitch. And a ground ball is short. This should end it. Michael Martinez scoops, fires, and that's the ball game. A 1-2-3 ninth for Dan Otero as the Indians beat Milwaukee by a final score of 10-3. We'll be back with some final thoughts from Goodyear right after this.